and tell him where to go. And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started.
It's time to get things started.
On the motivational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Perfecto, baby. Well, good morning, and what is it, Oneida and Canastota? Is that 2-hour delays this morning, or?
Yes, I had Oneida. Maybe Canastota's a late addition.
The roads are covered.
Yeah.
As you get into Utica, it looks like they're using salt, and there's almost that line from New Hartford to Utica where it goes to snowy roads to clear roads, but either way, people are driving as probably they should, driving a little on the slow side here this morning.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, too, it's funny you say that because I think I went from Commercial Drive, got on the ramp, and then as soon as you hit Whitesboro, Riscony Boulevard, it was all blacked out. It was very snow-covered, as you say, and then once you hit a Riscony Boulevard, it was all blacked out.
Just obviously drive slowly and all that stuff. Tomorrow, I think, will be upper 20s to low 30s, so it'll be a little bit more mild tomorrow, but then we go into cold weather. The polar vortex.
Well, I will say this. Earlier in the week when I looked ahead, we had a couple of days. I think it started this weekend, or maybe it was Tuesday, Wednesday of this coming week, where we were sub-zero as the low temp. And I think that's changed. We're a bit warmer than that. We're certainly still going to be cold. But I see single digits instead of minus signs.
Yeah, in terms of the overnight lows.
Overnight low, yeah.
Yeah. So tomorrow looks like we'll get some snow, but about 33, and then we're basically in the 20s and teens all the way through. But this next Sunday, they're saying that's not this Sunday. Yeah, next Sunday, a low of 4. So you'll get some really cold temperatures in the higher elevations, but. We're in for probably the rest of the month, according to Ray Stajic, a kind of a deep freeze. And it's January, so...
Yeah, it's to be expected.
So Oneida is on a 2-hour delay. Middle school, high school remote. Vernon, Verona, Cheryl's on a 2-hour delay.
Canastota, 2-hour delay.
Yep.
Okay.
So, real quick, you mentioned next Sunday the low temps, and next Sunday we'll be at... Rockies for conference championship weekend, which, again, look, if you're a football fan, especially a fan of New York football teams, which includes the Jets and Giants, Bill, regardless of what you say, they got some great stuff. They got the 5 tickets for a Bills game next year, 5 or 6 tickets for a Bills game next year.
5 tickets for these are our season tickets, but you don't get season tickets, but you're using someone else's season tickets. These are really Rocky Fiato's season tickets. 5 seats in the new stadium, and
That's
then a
awesome.
pair of tickets for the Giants next year.
See John Harbaugh and the G-Men
all be
win the NFC East.
Auctioned off, and who knows what next year brings for the New York Giants.
I'm so excited. I'm telling you, I hate to even admit this, but look, if you're a Giants fan, you know how many times you're going to scream and throw things at your television set. I would always hope for like the last decade. The Giants are usually on Fox. I hope CBS has got a good game. I hope the Bills are playing somebody good because that's the game I'm watching. I can't stomach this anymore. Not anymore. I'm going to be watching every single Giants game.
This weekend, wouldn't it be? And I was reminded this yesterday. Don't be careful because you could be right back to you got rid of the Chiefs, but you could be right back to the Bills out of it. And the Patriots in it.
Yeah.
And that could be, this is certainly a different Patriots team. And everything that they've accomplished this year has been a bit of a surprise. But anyway, yesterday Lance gave us, Marianne Buttonshaw's seat, and we know that Joe Bitar has already announced. Another candidate has announced?
Dan Fusco, who is the Deerfield representative who joined us on the show to talk about that housing project
Yes.
by SUNY Poly.
Yes.
So we've got to get him back on, by the way, obviously, Smitty.
He has announced he's running. Joe Bitar has announced that he is running. But a lot of people have an interest in that seat. So there may be some primaries. It's certainly possible. Some of the names that have been thrown around are quite interesting that I think are probably long shots. But yesterday, I got to say, I don't know if Lance has any comment here today. He was really hitting me hard yesterday. And I enjoyed that somehow I had logged into his mind and he couldn't get me out. He gave us a list that might be the most ridiculous list I've ever seen. I actually went back and looked at it after the show. Zero chance at many on that list.
Okay,
Which
so
I
here's-
immediately had to wonder, does Lance really know? Because I've always been like, Lance is in the know. And now, Lance, I got to tell you, has he responded?
there's a
Well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear the list, but before we do, a little, I think he's warranted an open.
okay.
Don't you? I mean, he texts and messages in on the app so often and says sometimes we ignore him, and I think we need to stop that here. He has been awarded his own open on the program. All right. Are you ready?
And some days, depending on the day, maybe he's the third or fourth co-host.
It could be. It's kind of like that. Here we go.
Hey, Lance and Lee. Hey, Lance and Lee. You sent another message for us to read. We don't know who the hell you are. You probably drive your mother's car. Typing away on that dirty phone. Sitting in your bedroom all alone. Lance, right, Lance, right, Lance.
I'm not sure what that is, but Kid Chris, my friend, put that together for us.
And he accuses me of deleting the messages.
yeah,
I don't
maybe
even
that's-
have
You
access to
have
that.
no access. You're not even able to do it.
You want the list that he gave us?
Yes, that list is
Okay.
a terrible list, Lance.
He starts out, I think he's hot. He's hot when he starts out, but he gets very cold, at least in
if
my
he mentions
opinion.
Palmieri, I've heard that to be true.
Palmieri.
I've even heard Mike Galimi has at least entertained it, but I don't think that's going anywhere.
Well, let me say this, too, at least to that point. I could not see that. Mike Galimi just became the mayor of Utica. I think, how about
From
we
what I understand,
straighten out the city before we try to tackle state issues?
From what I understand, someone asked him, and that's where his name was thrown in.
Well,
Somebody at a press conference or somewhere asked.
And it's always great to be wanted, right? It's
yes,
always feels good.
it does.
Palmieri, Bitar, ding ding, maybe, probably. Rutkowski,
Which is impossible.
Izzo.
I know that anything could be possible. I've not talked to Jackie, however, she only wanted to, in my opinion, based on my conversations, Jackie only wanted to be working in making this community specifically better, working here, not working in Albany. And specifically, when there was a seat open the first time, her name was thrown around when, if you go back, there were some people in the race that got out, and then Marianne Buttonshaw, and then Marianne won. During that time, her name was being thrown around, and she said she had zero interest in that.
Yeah, also,
Now, I don't have anything current, but I've not heard any reason to believe that she would want to be in the minority in the assembly in Albany.
right. She seems to me to be a planner, likes to have a strategy, right,
Yes.
and lay out and tackle different. To be the minority in the assembly, you're just going to be, you might as well sit there and play solitaire all day.
I will reach out to her today, though.
Okay, so Rutkowski, you say no. Izzo, you say probably not. Genovese?
Absolutely not.
Why? Yeah, I don't understand why. And then he
It's
says
not something that
Mayfield,
he
too.
would do at this point, but I'll reach out to him today too. So
And
Mayfield is an absolute laugher. There's no way Sheriff Mashel would throw his sheriff's hat into this race.
So that was the list.
And
That
he's
was
already announced he's running for re-election for sheriff.
6. That was the 6.
So he had two that are pretty obvious, I think.
He also, anyway, he sent a couple of messages just as the show was ending that I did not see until this morning.
You must be ignoring him. Davey, were you deleting those messages? It's possible.
And again, I had the impression that Lance was a lefty, right?
Oh, he's all over the place. You can't tell.
But then he calls you Billy Maddow.
Yeah, I don't even understand that. Nonetheless, one of the things was that I heard a lot about yesterday, and this has turned into something very interesting, is how in the world can you say that this agent, ICE agent, I forget his name, who shot and killed the good woman in Minneapolis, how could you say that that he wasn't hurt or she wasn't targeting him when he had internal bleeding and was hospitalized? Turns out, when a story hits, you really have to determine its validity. Now watch the video. Watch him after the incident as he's directing everybody and directing other ICE agents. There is no way that guy was. If he was hit, it's because he stepped into the vehicle. Still, they have CBS, which is now has a self-proclaimed MAGA host at the news desk at 6:30 at night.
Who's that?
I forget his name, but he just started there. Do you have his name?
His first name is Thomas. He used to work on the CBS morning show.
Yes,
with Nate Burleson and Gail King.
So, and you know that that CBS has new leadership there. Recently, there was an incident where there was a very negative story on the Trump administration, and it got pulled from 60 Minutes, unheard of. However, no one would take the story because it was unverifiable. This internal bleeding issue. No one would take the story, but CBS took it, and CBS ran with it. After that, Fox picked it up. Since then, it's basically, and USA Today. Since then, no one else has really picked it up. However, The Guardian did an in-depth story on it and interviewed people, interviewed physicians. This came from a leak from the Trump administration. From the administration, it was leaked to the media. Nobody would take it, but CBS took it. There's no way of verifying this because of HIPAA regulations. It's not coming from the, quote, victim, and it's been leaked by the Trump administration. Even further, physicians have talked about internal bleeding, which could be anywhere from minor to life-threatening, right?
Sure.
But internal bleeding starts at a bruise. So technically, if he has a bruise from that, and they said there's internal bleeding, scientifically that would be correct. That would not be a fib, if you will. But I'm simply saying to you that story has been run, but not verified.
So, and could I just say as well, and
if you look at the video, you got to be like, where did he get this terrible injury from?
I'm not looking to be devil's advocate or whatever, but in that situation, when he fires the 5 rounds or 5 rounds. Some people, many people, some people, many people, all the people, when you get that rush of adrenaline and things like that, it can be temporarily overcome.
I understand that.
So let me just throw that out there. To be fair.
Yeah. However, when you run a story, you want to be able to verify it, and there's not a single doctor or patient that has verified this. This came directly from someone in the White House. So take that for what it's worth. And, I would never think that something coming out of the White House wasn't absolutely true, which is why technically it might be if there's a bruise or, I did not have sex with that woman. I am not a crook. I mean, we would never get a, quote, fib from a presidential administration, would we? Speaking of fibs, this story continues, and we're not done with point skimming, with bet cheating, with players throwing games. Another college basketball point shaving scandal is underway, and it includes smaller teams. And
I was just going to say,
doesn't this make sense? If you're
Yes.
playing for Buffalo,
and you're not an NIL,
you're not
millions of
making
dollars
anything.
player. Yeah.
So you have a chance to make $45,000-$50,000, and all you got to do is go up to the line and miss some shots. That's pretty appealing, and that is what is being investigated currently. There's a whole new one. 20 people have been arrested in a point-shaving scandal, alleged,
Wow.
including 15 former college basketball players and 5, quote, fixers.
Wow.
And it includes Buffalo Bills guard Sean Fulcher.
Buffalo Bulls.
Bulls guard Sean Fulcher, and that, of course, is the Buffalo University.
Yeah.
In Buffalo, and he is one who has been alleged in this point shaving scheme. This is listen. There's betting everywhere. This could have happened long before legalization of betting, right?
Sure.
But it's just so prevalent today. And you add the NIL, and then you look at the those who are getting rich and those who are not, and they got to be looking and saying, why not me? Why can't I make a little money?
Yeah, I will say it seems to me absolutely moronic that you would have millions of dollars, whether it's in pro contracts or NIL money, and you would throw a game for 25 grand, 60, 100 grand, right? And you're getting millions of dollars.
You're not going to get a.
Why would you risk that?
Carmelo Anthony's kid or whatever.
Right, but if you're like, D3, D2,
yeah,
low level D1, where you're not on the national stage
and,
getting that money.
And here, this is low level D1.
Mm-hmm.
Totally can see it.
Totally can see it. Again, not condoning it, not saying I would do it. I'm just saying
15 former college players and 5 that are, quote, fixers have been arrested by the Justice Department. So we'll see where it goes. They've announced the charges on Thursday in what they called a betting scheme to rig NCAA and Chinese Basketball Association games. You're a professional bettor if you're checking to see, hey, do you guys have the score on the Chinese Basketball Association game between
seriously
whatever,
seriously.
Defendants include 15 athletes who played Division I hoops, as well as trainers, and 2 described as gamblers, influencers, and sports handicappers. Trainers involved. I want in on the action too, right? So I would think that and they're in one particular piece of evidence, which is February 24th, 2024, in a game. This is Fulcher and Adams agreed to underperform. Fulcher and Adams from Buffalo. Against Western Michigan University to ensure Buffalo failed to cover the first half spread. Court documents say. Now, they can come back and win the game. They're not throwing the game. They're just going to fall behind in the first half. And that's how this stuff seems to be done. Marvis Fairley, Roderick Winkler, and others acting at their direction placed bets on various sports books totaling $90,000 and won big after WMU outscored UB 47-32 in the first half, February 24th of 2024.
Can I just say, again, I'm not condoning this at all. I think it's completely unacceptable. Undermines the integrity of the game, whether it's pro sports, college athletics. Okay, I'm just saying we live in a world and things happen in the world that we don't like and we wouldn't do, but we have to be honest that they occur. To some level, I see the argument that it's unfair. These kids are going to school. Millions of dollars are being wagered on games, and they're not allowed to take lunch from a friend's mom because it's considered to be a free gift or something like that.
Well, that's changed a lot. Now, that's why you see all of these players doing Nye commercials and all the other.
Right.
I mean, but if you're not a highlighted player, if you're not a star, you're not getting those deals. You're not trying to sell a car for Nye.
Right.
And why you don't have .com? You're not doing that.
Did that get fixed?
It depends on the commercial.
Right?
Depends on the commercial you look at. Sometimes he nails it. Sometimes he skips a few letters.
Is that the player or the owner? It's the owner.
It's not
is
the
it?
owner.
Oh, it's not the owner.
It's
Okay.
the spokesperson. It may be the GM there. I don't know.
It's first news with all of it in the morning.
WIBX90.com. Let me just look it up. What is the poly market? What is poly market?
No, I have no idea.
Steps into legal gray area by hosting trades on war. Oh, this poly market is really interesting.
Like this Kalshi
Because
website, right?
Speaking of betting, this actually, we easily transition right into this. You can bet on anything that the U.S. is going to bomb Iran. And, there are bets right now saying that in the next, 3 days, 5 days, depending on whatever your bet is, that we're going to bomb Iran.
I was going to say there's another one that came to mind when we talked earlier this week, and I think I wanted to ask Dr. Hall. But I'm surprised is that Tylenol has not sued the administration for what RFK said.
That could be a bet.
That was the ad I just saw yesterday. Will Tylenol sue RFK and the Trump administration?
And this is really opening some eyes. I mean, if you think this point shaving scheme is controversial, let me bring in Jessica Rosenthal from Fox News Radio. Okay, interesting, Jessica. What do we know on this one?
So it sounds like you guys kind of got a lay of the land. But yeah, Polymarket, Kalshi, Predicted, these are betting platforms. You can go on, you can create your own bet, or you can put money toward an existing bet. I think this morning the first one was still Khomeini out as supreme leader of Iran by January 31st. Yes or no? This morning it was at 9%. A couple days ago it was at 27%. But then President Trump said from the Oval Office, look, it sounds like protesters aren't being killed anymore. The executions aren't moving forward. The poly market and these prediction markets react in real time, right? The odds fluctuate second to second. And it's binary choice. If you win, you get money. If you bet it against it, you get nothing. Of course, what you guys are talking about is, and I will say, the thing that's really interesting about these sites is that, like, a lot of people are noticing that they seem oddly accurate. Even more accurate than a lot of polling models. They did a better job, for example, of predicting the outcome of the U.S. election in 2024, including bets on specific swing states. But to your point about sort of point shaving and manipulation, I'm sure you guys heard that hours before Nicolas Maduro of Venezuela was arrested, someone went on Polymarket literally hours before this happened and placed a $30,000 bet on Maduro being out by the end of January. That person then made $400K. So this raised a lot of eyebrows, like who was that person? Some Democratic lawmakers led by New York Congressman Richie Torres are proposing legislation that would try and crack down on that. But we had on the former chairman of the Commodity Future Trading Commission, which is what Polymarket.us will be regulated by. He's also a Polymarket Advisory Board member. And he was saying, look, there are already ways to kind of root out manipulation in the commodity markets. That's what regulators do there. And he said, if somebody violated an oath or duty of office and, went on Polymarket and placed a bet, there are ways to hold that person accountable. But generally, he said people are encouraged to bring their knowledge to the table in commodity markets. Farmers trade on their unique information.
Right.
If it's a good, harvest in Kansas, but not in Minnesota, those two things you compete. He said, for example, somebody went on the Nobel Prize website before Maria Corina Machado was officially announced and saw her name had already been published. And so they placed a bet and they won, boku bucks. So he said it's kind of complicated because you might have seen a tweet that made you think, this might be a good, you know what I mean? So it's complicated, but he said that's what makes it so accurate too, is people put their money where their mouth is and do the research before they bet.
It is so interesting. By the way, the winner of that bet on the Venezuelan bet was an S.A. Miller. I don't know who that is. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. But listen, it's all it takes, though, is for someone in the know to say, hey, right, on the side to somebody too. And I'm certainly not making any accusations of anybody in the administration at all. But, say it's Nancy Pelosi. She shares that information. But, they always said, Jessica, that the stock market was the biggest gambling show of all time. So
and not anymore.
Yeah.
So, Jessica, I'm trying to think of the guy. I just heard this yesterday, and I don't know if it was the Poly Market or Vegas, but what's the there's an I think he's Australian, shaved head kickboxing influencer, very pro male. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but I don't know his name.
Guy's name is on the tip of my tongue. Jessica, do you know who this is?
I do not.
Either way, he was just in a kickboxing match and he was heavily favored. And I saw yesterday, everybody's been saying for the last week or so since he lost, he was humiliated. He's supposed to be this, alpha male, and he got embarrassed. And then he came out and said, I bet $10 million against myself, and I made $88 million.
Well, how can you do that?
Oh, my God.
I know. It seems just illegal by nature.
Meanwhile, he's being visited by the ghost of Pete Rose. What are you doing? Holy cow. All right, Jessica, this is very interesting, and I wonder, you know what the funny part of this is?
Andrew Tate, that's his name, Andrew Tate.
We can...
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Andrew Tate.
He's got a lot of other issues. We could
many
talk about
issues,
those
but
today.
he's apparently $88 million richer after betting against himself.
And Jessica, on this poly market, is it all legal, or is this offshore betting?
Okay, so polymarket.com right now is international only. In fact, the head of the company, Shane Copland, his home was raided after the 2024 election under the Biden administration because he was accused of allowing Americans to bet. He has since obtained CFTC approval to run a U.S. version. It will be more regulated. There will be essentially you're betting against a house or a bookie in that model. And you have to know your trader. So while this is all happening on the blockchain and we don't know people on the international market, who they are, we will know more about who's betting in the U.S. market.
Okay.
I'm number 615,300 something on the wait list for polymarket.us.
Wow, that is so wild. Well, listen, you might as well join them because otherwise people are just going to do it overseas and we won't see any of that revenue. So interesting. All right, great topic, Jessica. Thanks so much. We appreciate it. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
All right.
You too.
Jessica Rosenthal with Fox News Radio.
So let's see here. Steve saying, my guess is the person who bet on Maduro was Nancy Pelosi.
That's what I said. I said Pelosi.
Absolutely.
She's out of the know now. I don't think she's in the know anymore.
Yeah. And back to this Tate thing again. I just think that's wild. That if that is true,
be allowed. Where's the? I mean, is he regulated in? Is he part of the UFC?
No. He's just an influencer. I would say.
Oh, he's an influencer.
He used to apparently be to some level a pro kickboxer. I don't know. I don't follow him. Maybe there's some people out there who can correct this. But then he's this alpha male online, very toxic. Again, I don't follow him, but from what people say, very demeaning to women, or like women are here to serve men kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know how this came about. The Jake Paul, was never a pro boxer, but he fights pro boxers or former pro boxers, or sometimes still pro boxers. But anyway, so he was in this fight, and everybody was saying, it was the demise of Andrew Tate. This toxic influencer got what he deserves, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I don't even know if this is true. But then he comes out and says, the joke is on you. I bet $10 million against myself. It would seem to me that if you're,
why would you admit that? Why would you even talk about that?
Right.
I mean, if you got the money,
walk
your
mouth
away and shut up.
It would seem to me that any legitimate betting site would not allow you to bet against yourself.
Correct.
Obviously, it's the easiest way to win.
Yeah,
Throw the fight.
Yeah.
Take the whooping.
Wow. I got a break. We have a lot to get to. Big day today, as Manaski said earlier. Roseanne Leparco is with the Cornell Cooperative Extension, and she's on the – now, normally she's talking about planting and plants, and, here we are in the middle of the winter. So today she's talking about politics. She's going knee deep into the political. No? Oh, I've combined the two. I see.
It's like,
sorry.
what?
I'm sorry. She's talking about plants. We love her. This morning, Davey, our free money.
Well, she could be talking about some state lawmakers, specifically if she's talking about potted plants.
That is true.
Could be some members of the Senate or Assembly.
Here we go, Davey. Our free money question this morning from Hobica is worth
$335.
$335.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Didn't want to throw the extra 15 in there? Is that your take?
$335. Davey's now taking 10%. It's his, what do they call it? The VIG.
Yeah, his VIG.
Yeah. This morning also, this week's sporting news. Somebody was complaining that, you guys are talking sports, and I don't follow them, but I do like opera. So what have you combined the two? I realize that setup is a real reach, but stay with me on it. We'll get to it coming up. Scott in Kirkville makes his picks for the weekend. Ryan Schmelz is on this morning. The Comets have a game tomorrow night. Pioneers home tonight, I believe. And keep an eye on all of that. There's plenty of hockey action this weekend. Tomorrow night, the Comets will take on Rochester at the Adirondack Bank Center. Quick break, and we'll come right back at WIBX.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Attention patriotic Americans. To honor the 250th anniversary of American independence, the United States Mint is striking a groundbreaking American Silver Eagle coin. The 1776 to 2026 W American Silver Eagle is the first dual-dated coin in this series' history. Its inspiring dual date pays tribute to our nation's founding fathers, the Declaration of Independence in 1776, and the spirit of the American Revolution that lives on today in 2026. Now is your chance to get this first of its kind dual-dated American Silver Eagle in perfect proof 70 Ultra Cameo condition, like nothing collectors have ever seen. But hurry, pre-sale slots are limited. With mintage of just 500,000 coins, this release is a true absolute rarity. Secure your 250th anniversary Silver Eagle now with Rare Collectibles TV exclusive pre-sale. Call 800-925-1544 now before they sell out. That's 800-925-1544. 800-925-1544.
With snow piles up in central New York, you still got work to do. Get it done with Bobcat from Warner Sales and Service. Bobcat skid steer loaders, truck loaders, and excavators cut through deep snow, slippery streets, and frozen job sites with ease. They're fast, tough, and built for upstate winters, delivering soft traction, low ground disturbance, and all-day comfort. From streets and sidewalks to driveways and lots, nothing clears like a Bobcat. Push it to the limit this winter with Bobcat from Warner Sales and Service. Visit WarnerSS.com.
We're your neighbors, friends, and your family. We care about our community, your business, and most important, you.
We support charities like the United Way, McMahon Ryan Child Advocacy Center. We're the members of IBW Local 43 and NECA Contractors. You don't just see our work, you live it. From the JMA Wireless Dome, hospitals, schools, and city buildings, the IBEW is part of the community.
Central New York's future is bright, and the IBEW Local 43 and NECA will continue to help light, power, and grow Central New York.
Need a new bed? Don't wait for your tax return. Mattress Express has 1 year, no interest, no money down, and no payments for 90 days for qualified buyers. Stop into any store or apply online at mattressexpressny.com.
Hey, River Hills Properties, as we spoke with Andrew here in studio yesterday, continues to be all about service. Right from the very beginning, your listing agent is there every time the house is shown, and that is a big advantage. It really, and it takes the heat off the homeowner that's trying to sell the property. That's just one of the services provided. River Hills Properties here in upstate New York, in Barneville, Little Falls, and Utica, Newport, coming soon to Rome, and, of course, the Gulf Coast of Florida. River Hills Properties, 315-896-1009.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 Utica.
From the WB Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
The anti-ICE protests rage on. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News in Minneapolis again last night. Outside an immigration detention center following 2 recent ICE-involved shootings.
Protesters were seen bashing into the fence outside of the federal facility last night. Some were seen scaling the fence. Protesters and agitators were demonstrating against law enforcement for most of the day yesterday, leading up to a tense night. A group of patriots also showed up to counter-protest at the federal building yesterday, which led to some clashes.
Fox's Matt Finn in Minneapolis. President Trump's threatened to invoke the Insurrection Act and send federal troops to Minneapolis. He also plans to cut off federal funding to sanctuary states and communities. And here's another one in California.
The San Jose City Council voting unanimously to ban Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents from using the parking areas of 75 community centers and libraries and 11 city garages and lots as staging or operational bases. The policy also calls for signs stating these locations are off limits for immigration enforcement operations.
That's Fox's Kristen Goodwin. The U.S. is sending an aircraft carrier to the Middle East after the president threatened to take action in Iran over a deadly crackdown on protests. Fox's Jessica Rosenthal reports.
U.S. Ambassador to the UN Michael Waltz said President Trump stands with the Iranian people and that all options remain on the table.
The regime is solely responsible for the economic misery of the Iranian people and the repression of their freedom, and they will be held accountable.
President Trump met at the White House in private with Venezuela's opposition leader, Maria Corina Machado, who gifted him the Nobel Peace Prize she was awarded last month. Fox's Rachel Campos Duffy talked to Machado.
In spite of the Nobel Prize Committee saying that you couldn't transfer your Nobel Prize to anyone, especially President Trump, you did today. Why did you do that? Because he deserves it.
America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/Mike.
Serving in Vietnam, a grenade took my ability to see. I'm Michael Naranjo, and I'm a veteran. Today, I'm a sculptor. My fingers are my eyes.
DAV helps veterans like Michael get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year.
With DAV, more veterans can
Community College Athletic Association over its transgender participation policy, which may violate Title IX. Assistant Secretary for Civil Rights Kimberly Ritchie said in a statement that the Trump administration will not tolerate policies that erase women's rights and emphasized that fairness and safety for female athletes are non-negotiable. The complaint claims the policy allowed a transgender or non-binary student to compete on a women's volleyball team and access women's facilities, and that the association ignored female students' complaints. Carmen Roberts, Fox News.
There's baseball news. The Los Angeles Dodgers have a new expensive free agent, Kyle Tucker, agreeing to go to the Dodgers. Reportedly, it's a 4-year contract worth $240 million. On Wall Street, stock futures are rising ahead of today's trading. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
We have some clouds, 10 degrees in Rome, 12 degrees in Utica. Good morning, I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time is 7:05. This news update brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Jury deliberations resumed today in the manslaughter trial of former Marcy Correctional Facility officer Michael Fisher. During closing arguments yesterday, prosecutors told jurors that Fisher had a duty to try and stop his colleagues from beating inmate Robert Brooks to death in 2024, but Fisher's attorney countered by claiming the evidence presented during the trial shows that Fisher is not guilty. If convicted, he faces up to 15 years behind bars. Several people continuing to recover. I don't know if you saw this, the video, Bill. A massive crash on Interstate 81 yesterday. 34 cars involved, 3 trucks, a pileup on the highway southbound in Lafayette. It was snowing at the time of the collision. 2 of the victims suffered serious injuries, but officials say they are non-life-threatening injuries, thank goodness. The one bit of good news for drivers is the road is back open north and southbound this morning as drivers head back to work. But again, more than 35 vehicles involved in that pileup yesterday. Utica police are warning about the rise of teenagers possessing flare guns in the city and in some cases using them as actual weapons. Now, police say flare guns, when used properly, are legal, but in some cases they're being fired at people and buildings or being used to threaten others. And in fewer cases, they've been modified to shoot real bullets, making them just as dangerous as actual handguns. Officers point to an instance in Albany last summer where a flare gun destroyed a home after it sparked a fire at a residence. Current laws allow police to charge people under 16 with unlawful possession of weapons. Officials say that new laws are being considered to specifically address the issue with flare guns. After years of anticipation, ground is finally being broken today on the Micron Technology Project in Clay. A ceremony is scheduled for 1 this afternoon at the site located on the corner of Route 31 and Cotinoy Road. Micron wants to build up to 4 factories at a cost of $100 billion, but the first building would not officially open until 2030. Construction was supposed to start in 2024, but an environmental review of that project took longer than expected. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 7:08. A couple of school closings and delays this morning. A 2-hour delay at Canastota. In Oneida, a 2-hour delay, and the middle and high school are on remote learning. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time, again 7:08. Here's a look at your Weather Center forecast.
Winter weather advisory until 1. Scattered snow showers, breezy and cold this morning, upper 20s this afternoon, and looking for a coating to up to an inch or two of snowfall. Obviously, if you get into the more favored areas for snow, you may see a little bit more, especially in the North Country and off to the west. Tonight, some snow showers around. Really not looking for much in the way of accumulation. 20, North Country colder. Tomorrow afternoon, some snow showers, and we could have a prolonged period of snow showers, especially early next week. On the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX, 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
10 degrees in Rome, 12 in Utica. It is 7:09. All right, in sports, details emerging on a new contract for new Giants head coach John Harbaugh. He'll be making upwards of $20 million a season for 5 years. That's a $100 million deal. It's also expected that Harbaugh will hire Todd Monken as his offensive coordinator. I'm telling you, the projection for the Giants, in my opinion, has gone from, are they going to win 5 games this year? Are we going to be in the hunt for the top draft pick? To, I expect this team to make the playoffs next year.
I'm recording all of this. I'm going to play it back to you next year.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I'm really
You're all
excited.
in.
I'm really excited.
I think you should be.
Double trouble this weekend in the NFL playoffs. Games on Saturday and Sunday. Josh Allen's Bills battle Bo Nix and the Broncos in Denver. In the NFC side, Brock Purdy and the 49ers square off against Sam Darnold and the Seahawks. That'll be tomorrow night. Buffalo and San Francisco obviously picked up road wins in the wild card round to advance. The divisional round wraps up Sunday with Drake May and the Patriots dueling C.J. Stroud and that tough Texans defense in Foxborough. Also, the NFC caps off with Matthew Stafford and the Rams rolling into Chicago to take on Caleb Williams and the Bears. Seahawks quarterback Sam Darnold, though, says he expects to play in Saturday's divisional round despite suffering an injury in practice this week. It's some kind of an oblique strain. He said he felt something pull or a little tweak in his left side while throwing. He left the session as a precautionary measure, but he is officially listed as questionable to play this weekend. The Eagles say they're happy with one of their best wide receivers. General Manager Howie Roseman telling the media on Thursday that A.J. Brown is a great player who loves football. Roseman said it's hard to find great players when asked if the team would be open to trading a star wide receiver or their star wide receiver. Brown finished the year with more than 1,000 yards but became a media sideshow for most of the second half of the season. The Knicks dropped their road finale 126-113 against the Golden State Warriors as they wrap up their road trip. They've now dropped back-to-back games. They'll host the Phoenix Suns tomorrow at MSG. The Nets lose again, this time to the Bulls. The Nets will host the Bulls. They come in dropping 8 of their last 9 games. The Utica Comets are on the road tonight in Syracuse. They'll host Rochester at the Adirondack Bank Center tomorrow night before hitting the road against Belleville again on Sunday. Smitty, I'll go to you for Syracuse basketball.
Tomorrow, down in Boston College, 2 o'clock on the ACC network, Jeff.
And the Utica, I keep wanting to call them Utica College. Boy, I'll never get over that, will I? The Utica University Pioneers will be in action this weekend. They're playing at Nazareth. It's the second half of that home and home. Usually they're day after day, but they'll play at Nazareth, and then they don't come back home until next Friday. So one game for the Pioneers this weekend, but it's on the road.
Okay, coming up, we have we mentioned Roseanne Leparco from the Cooperative Extension. Also, a lot of candidates are making their announcement that they are running for office. We'll speak with Mary Finnegan coming up in a minute. Hobica's free money question is $335 this morning. Not bad. And we'll do that in a few minutes. And what happens when you mix news, sporting news, and opera? You know, there's a lot of drama in an opera. A lot of drama in sports these days.
You know, they say the game's never over till the fat lady sings.
That is absolutely true. And we'll combine the two coming up. It's worth a shot here. I like it. 712 WIBX.
Tallman's Tire and Auto Service, family owned and operated since 1980. Tallman's is proud to provide trusted, professional auto care to our community. From brake repairs and New York State inspections to check engine light diagnostic to four-wheel alignments, Tallman's Tire and Auto Service accept all aftermarket warranties, and they specialize in fleet vehicles, accepting all fleet maintenance programs. When your vehicle needs attention, you can count on them to get you back on the road quickly and safely. Save time and money. Schedule your appointment today at tallmanstire.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. It all began in 1985 with a single goal, a commitment to brighten our community. And with your kindness, that light grew brighter. Because for 40 years, you've helped Food Bank of Central New York deliver healthy food and hope. But that need continues to grow. So this year, please consider giving a little extra and make sure the light we shine together never goes out.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ETHOS.com/term.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
The new year brings new health goals and wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
It's the NFL Conference Championships Tailgate Party. Sunday, January 25th, 1 till 5 at Waterfront Grill Herkimer. A full tailgate buffet, drinks, multiple TVs, and over 50 auction prizes like New York Giants tickets, 5 tickets to a Buffalo Bills game, plus a pair of tickets to see Jimmy Taylor February 7th to the Rome Capitol. $30 tickets benefit the Great American Heart Running Walk, Little Falls Hospital, Herkimer County Humane Society, and Real Men Get Tested for Cancer. Sunday, January 25th, 1 to 5 at Waterfront Grill Herkimer from WIBX 950 at 92.3 FM. WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. 7:16, and roads are a little slick. We have a couple. There are a few delays here. I'm going to ask you one more time on those if we could.
Yeah, we have a two-hour delay in Oneida and Canastota. And Oneida, the notes here say that they're doing some remote learning today for the middle and high school.
All right, interesting stuff. And right now in studio is the Oneida County Clerk. Do I have it right? I do. Mary Finnegan is in here this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, and how are the roads out there?
Yeah, so the roads are a little slick this morning, so please, everyone, be careful. Yes, they're a little slick. Took me a little longer than I thought.
So you have announced that you're running for re-election.
I am running for re-election, yes.
And obviously you have now an administration under your belt. And what are the improvements and the changes that you've made that you're touting here as you run for re-election?
Well, first and foremost, when I took office, I had about 20 positions to fill, which was daunting. We've been able to do that. Our staffing is up 100%. I think that shows in our customer service.
Yeah.
Especially, of course, at the DMV. We were also able to bring on board a brand new Qmatic system, which has improved services tremendously. It speaks 8 languages, which has really helped with the language barrier in Utica. It allows you to go online and book your appointments. It sends you a text message. Yeah. Sends you a text message and email just as if you were going to a doctor's appointment. It's been a game changer. So I'm super proud of that. And of course, our customer service is just amazing. And that's, due to my staff and what we've been able to do.
I
have to say the staff tolerance is probably even higher with some of the things that you have to deal with at the DMV.
we had a really weird case, and I forgot what it was. But we had to go in, and it was about a map where the property line was, the deed. There was a whole confusion, and our experience was awesome. So
thank you so much.
Everybody was really helpful. The parking is never easy.
No,
that's always it is a busy. It's a busy place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's very busy.
So, and then what are your plans for the future? Anything that you want to accomplish?
Of course. So one of the things that, was a great accomplishment is I'm sure as everyone can remember, the Rome DMV had closed for a while with the past administration, and we've been able to open that, keep that running at 100%. So that's been amazing. But I'm also still an active member of the Town Clerks Association. So I'm in touch with a lot of the rural communities, those town clerks. And I think there's a real need to bring back the remote DMV service that we, it used to be in the prior administration. And for staffing reasons, again, that kind of went by the wayside, budgeting issues. But, I would really like to revisit that. We've done a lot in the past 3 years. But of course,
how does that work? By the way, so you would have certain days where you would be in rural communities.
Yes, we would. Okay. We would pick some of the. We would kind of take a census of where the need is the most, and maybe some communities that are close together. We could make it a centralized location so we could serve more of the community. But again, that has to be in conjunction with the state of New York. People think I can just go in and say, oh hey, I'm going to do this at the DMV. It's really important to note that we work for the state of New York.
Right,
You're an agent of the state, but I've been able to really establish some great relationships with the higher ups in the state DMV, and I think that's been a real great advantage for us, and we've really been able to get a lot of help. So I'm really hoping that's something that we can reestablish because I really do think there's a need for that.
Yeah. Anything else?
Just continue with our customer service. I just think it's the most important thing. I think if you spoke to local lawyers, they would say, my office, the county clerk's office is really improved 100%. So, I think my staff and myself are just really doing a great job. I give myself a little pat on the back.
Yeah.
How big?
Well, if you don't do it, nobody's going to do it.
How big is the staff? I know you said you had 20 openings.
So
and was that all DMV or just in the?
Oh no, that wasn't. I have many hats. I have many offices. I run passports and naturalization. I run my office at the county clerk. I run the DMV in Rome. I run the DMV in Utica. I run the Records Retention Center. I'm also the FOIL officer for the entire county. So, there's a lot of hats that I wear. So I was able to do that. And now I'm up to 50 employees. So I'm very proud of that. And it's
so
a lot.
with 20 openings, that's, what, 60%?
Yes.
Of
I was
the
gonna
office
say,
was vacant? Yeah.
Yes. It was a real issue. And it wasn't easy to accomplish.
Yeah.
But we have, and I have to say, my staff's the best. I couldn't do this job without them. So
Do you have
thank
any?
you to them.
Do you have any habitual foilers?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
yes.
what is a habitual foiler?
Well, a habitual foiler is someone who finds it very hard to stick to the rules and will just foil and foil and foil, and sometimes, many times, the same exact thing.
And what it oftentimes can do is overwhelm the system.
Yes.
I mean,
we get on average about 67 foils a month.
Wow. You have somebody who's like, I've got 20 foils this month. I mean, I don't know if they're trying to break their own record, but I do find it interesting that exists out there, and you guys have to handle those things.
Absolutely.
And it's part of the job. So.
Yes, it is.
All right. Anything else you want people to know out there? Service.
That's what we're all about. Customer service everywhere. It's I've said that from the beginning. It's the most important part of the job, and I really promise to continue with excellent customer service.
All right. And I do have to say that I feel like that approach has really changed the DMV, and because the DMV has always been that place where we would go to die. But it's not. I mean, you're servicing a lot of people, especially in Utica. That can get very, very busy over there.
Yes.
But I think there are so many different things that are being done right now to make that a better experience.
Yes, thank you. I like to say you used to have to take a day off to come to the DMV. Now our average is 15 minutes from start to finish.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah,
that's really great.
I do, though,
I fixed the DMV.
In order to save, you fix the DMV.
Hashtag I fixed the DMV.
All right, maybe that's what you run on. There's your campaign.
And then I have one more question. You mentioned naturalizations. I'm just wondering, are they still as frequent? Are the classes as large? Because there's like an ebb and flow when it comes to, I don't know if you migration, refugee, relocation, things like that.
It's really significantly gone down, to be honest.
Yeah.
And also where we used to be more a part of the naturalization ceremonies, it's more of a federal function now. So we've been sort of, for certain reasons, there's certain judges that have taken it over. And we used to get one a year, maybe one every other year.
Yeah.
But that's kind of changed now.
Does Brindisi handle that court now? Judge Hurd always did it.
Judge Hurd. I don't think I'm not positive who's handling it now, because again, we have not had one since I've been in office.
Okay.
So,
really?
No.
Oh wow.
And COVID really changed the face of naturalization ceremonies. It's really where it changed, and it's sort of that change has sort of remained.
Yeah. All right.
So no, we have not had one.
All right, interesting stuff, and thank you, and we'll get you back in here as the campaign goes on.
Thank you so much.
January, but it's a long year.
Yes,
Anybody
it is.
running for office, it's a long year.
It certainly is.
And you have to get how many petitions do you have to? How many signatures do you have?
1,500.
1,500.
Yes.
And my guess is we're not going to warm up early this year.
No.
It's cold.
It's a tough time to get signatures.
It is. So, all right. Well, good luck.
It's a long year, but
thank
at the
you.
DMV, it's a shorter line.
That's right.
That's right, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff.
Again, you've offered two slogans today.
Here we go. I'm going to start running campaigns.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Quick break. Roseanne Leparco is with the Cornell Cooperative Extension. We'll do her next. And, you may have something in your house that's just you thought was going to make it and isn't. She has some help there. Coming up, Ann Hobeika's free money question is worth $335. We'll do it coming up at WIBX.
Imagine this. You're coming down the stairs. You miss a step, but you catch yourself. And that's when you feel it. It's your knee, and it really hurts. Now you have to make a choice. The faster you see an orthopedic specialist, the sooner you'll be on your way to recovery. Choose Community Memorial Center for Orthopedics, now with a clinic open every Wednesday in New Hartford. You'll get fast access to world-class orthopedic care. We have imaging on site, and you'll be treated by Dr. Rochelle Takamoto. She's one of the most respected orthopedists in the area, and she's done more VELYS robotic-assisted surgeries than any female physician in the world. So whether it's a new injury or a long-term pain in any joint, walk into our clinic and get treated by one of the best orthopedic specialists in the area in the shortest time possible. That's Community Memorial Center for Orthopedics, with clinics weekdays in Hamilton and now every Wednesday at 83 Genesee Street in New Hartford. Visit orthoemergency.com.
The new year brings new health goals and wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Brought to you by Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Possibility starts with the right financial solutions from AmeriQ Credit Union. Get started today at ameriq.org/possibility.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's time to rise and shine. Get on the road. Get to work. The day will guide just fine on WIBX with Keeler in the morning.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
That's a little too cheery for me.
I'll tell you what, though. I thought it was
Shut the hell up. It's not that nice. It's terrible out.
Great investment by Town Square to hire a whole collection of backup singers to do these jingles for us.
They're all singing live for us each morning. So
very good job by them.
Dirty it up a little bit. That's just way too fun. Cheery.
I'll leave that to you, Bill.
Okay. All right. Let me go to Roseanne Leparco, and Roseanne is with the Cornell Cooperative Extension. She is a master gardener, and she's on the line right now. For a master gardener, Roseanne, boy, seeing temperatures of 12 and 17 and 23, that's the next 2 weeks and even longer. It's not encouraging, but maybe it is for you. I don't know.
Just makes you want to run out there and plant a tomato.
It does. It does. Oh,
Clear away a spot and in the drift and try to find a tomato that'll survive out there. Yeah, this is a very, at least for me, this is a very depressing time.
Oh, it is. The sun doesn't shine. It's cold. Your heating bill is through the roof. I mean,
yeah, let's not go there.
Yeah, terrible.
And by the way, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Roseanne. So glad to have you back. By the way, I don't know if you know anything about squirrels, but I was looking out before we had this thaw, and we'd gotten fresh snow. So there was about like a foot of snow, maybe a foot and a half of snow in our out the back window. And I'm looking out there, and there's a squirrel that is jumping and going like diving down under.
Yes.
And then would come up, and then would dive back down in another spot. These holes
like
all
a dolphin
over.
diving through waves.
Yeah, like what is he trying to? Because it wasn't like he was digging through and progressing. It was like he was looking for food. And,
they're a little spastic.
Yeah,
kind of like I am because it's so cold out.
Yeah,
but
we're
if anybody's got any kind of bird feeders, in your neighborhood, a lot of times they're taking the bird food.
Oh, they like that.
Hiding it, or they have a spot where they put some bird food in there, and they're getting it out, but they're a little
Interesting that you say that.
plastic.
Yeah, it did
And
kind of look
remember, they're dark colored against white
against
snow.
the snow.
And they're, that's the perfect formula for a predator, like a hawk.
Okay, yeah.
They move around really fast.
Well, I'll say this: it looked a little like my wife trying to find her keys when she can't find them. I mean, no, not down here. No, not over here. Let's try over here. I hope she's not hearing that. Okay, and then I have one more quickie for you on this is animals. I don't know if you know anything about this, but I think the biggest scam we were ever told when we were in school and early elementary is, see, look up in the sky. It's going to be winter. The birds are flying. The geese are flying south. I don't know. I went through there was a pasture the other day I drove by on Route 12, and there must have been 1,000 geese in that pasture just sitting out there taking in the weather. Do they really fly south, or does a master gardener not know anything about that?
I'm not 100% positive, but I think a lot of them stay here.
Yeah.
I mean, you see them everywhere. I mean, I think there are some that migrate to warmer weather, but I think it might have been more of an old wives' tale than reality. But again, I'm not 100% sure. Plus, I hate to say climate change, but sometimes that plays a part.
Well, that could too.
They're willing to stay here. It's not as cold and not as our old-fashioned winters like we used to have years ago.
Well,
I think we're
absolutely
getting pretty close.
We are getting close, but I'm going to tell you, if I ever do have any grandchildren, I'm not going to lie to them like I did my kids. I'm going to say, when they point up to the sky and see the geese going over, I'm going to be like, they're flying to Oneonta. They'll be back tomorrow. Because that's what it seems like.
It might be. They're just finding a new place to hang out, but not necessarily out of state.
There's some good corn down in Oneonta. We're heading there, and we'll be back. All right, Manaski.
Well, no, I was going to follow up on your question about the squirrels, or just not even a question, but I noticed with the melt-off around my deck, because we did lose a significant amount of snow, I'm like, where are these walnuts coming from, or these whatever they fall out of the tree? They're not the acorns, but they got like a hard shell around them. And I'm like, oh, the squirrels were burying these as the snow was falling, and now they're
and I know we're talking
up
about
for grabs again.
This is not your thing, Roseanne, but you'll be surprised if all of a sudden you see a rogue tomato plant growing in a bed that you have, and that's really the squirrels that are transferring the seeds during the fall.
Seeds around. The birds do too, but squirrel, the walnuts, that's a favorite. I mean, I'll share this little story with you. I was at my brother's in Poughkeepsie for Christmas, and on their deck, if you've ever seen those tall gas heaters where you could sit outside, we watched a squirrel go to the top opening of the heater, literally looking around. He had a giant walnut and literally pigeoned it into the corner top of that gas heater. And you watched him up there for about, 20 minutes, because he was making sure that, because other squirrels were in the yard, it was actually comical.
So he was hiding it.
He was hiding it from the other squirrels. And then, after he went away, my brother went out there and took it out. So poor thing, where he hid it. But that's that's the length that they'll go to hide things.
Yeah.
So you'll find nuts and walnuts and bird food in the weirdest of places.
Yeah. Now, this is that time of year where you think you brought in some plants, you're looking, the leaves are coming off, you're like, it's just crazy.
This is a really good time if you've got indoor plants to take a really close look at them. I mean, with house plants or anything you bring inside, there's a couple issues that can make them look sickly. One is they're not in enough light, or they're in too much light. Many times if you don't have a sheer curtain on your window, and when the sun does come out, winter sun can be really intense. So you need to maybe move them to a shadier spot. Another thing is humidity. A lot of houses like mine are very dry, and some indoor plants appreciate a little humidity. And you can do that easily by just getting a tray with a layer of pebbles or small rocks, making sure the bottom of the plant is not sitting in the water. It's literally sitting on top of the rocks. Fill the tray with water, and then that'll give the plant a little humidity, especially in a dry house.
Yeah, I like
and
that.
then the number one thing that people do with indoor plants is overwater.
Yeah.
And overwater is the death of anything that you bring inside. So what I like to do, highly technical, I like to call it the finger test. Just put your finger in the soil about an inch down, and if it feels wet, don't water.
Okay.
If it feels dry, then you water.
All
and
right.
then many plants will be better if you water from the bottom. So let it sit in
okay.
a saucer for a few minutes versus the top. So let the roots absorb that water.
okay.
But, if you got a plant for the holidays, make sure it's not sitting in a saucer. And then a lot of times they'll come with an aluminum foil, colored paper. Take that off and make sure there's drainage holes in the container. If there aren't, then maybe try to poke some in there. A lot of times that foil will retain moisture, and you'll have a problem. And one of the things you really want to look for as far as a pest problem with plants are fungus gnats. They look like little fruit flies. They're dark, black little flies that'll just hover around the plant, and they'll hover around the soil. They are nasty. Once you have them, they're very difficult to get rid of. Typically, you could get yellow sticky traps to put in to the plant to catch the flies, but unfortunately, they're laying eggs in the soil. So that's not you're going to have that cycle of rehatching all the time.
Yeah.
So usually when you have those, your best bet, and this is actually the best bet for any plant that may look a little sickly, is get it in some fresh potting soil, repot it, and make sure you invest in some good potting soil. When you pick up a bag in the store, it should not feel heavy. If it feels really heavy, it's been sitting somewhere. It could be outside and they brought it inside. It should feel light, and that's really your best bet for a plant that might be ailing from indoors. And when it comes to watering, just a quick hint, if the tips of the leaves are starting to turn brown, that's usually, or yellowing, that usually means not enough water. If the leaves are curling and the pot feels heavy, then that's too much watering. So just some tips and ideas, and
right.
take a look at your plants this time of the year.
Well, listen, my wife followed your advice on the pollinating of her. This is her prized possession. It's the lemon tree.
Oh, the lemon tree.
Let me tell you, we have 7. This is unbelievable. I have 2 on my island right now that we're going to cut into tonight.
Oh, that's so exciting.
We have her lemon tree produced 11 huge, like full-size lemons. It's unbelievable.
Wow.
And she uses a paintbrush. I don't know. It's something sexual with the tree. It's not. It's pollination. Technically, it's pollinating.
You do have a G-rated show, right?
I do. My apologies, but it's kind of it's playing the role of whatever.
Right.
And it works. Like it's unbelievable. This thing she's had for probably 15 years.
Really?
And it every once in a while you get this tiny little look like a cherry. And nothing.
Cherry lemons, huh?
But she started doing this, and they're full-size lemons, and it's pretty wild.
And that same process can be used if you're having issues with not getting enough tomatoes or not getting enough peppers, any of your fruited vegetables. If for some reason, you don't have enough bees in the area, I mean, you can do it yourself. And do what she's doing. That's a wonderful thing. I'm glad.
Well, listen, I have a picture of the lemon tree, so the next time we talk, we'll talk about it. I'm going to have Dave put you on hold, and Davey's going to grab your cell phone, and we'll send it off to you. So
okay, great.
All right, stand by. And by the way, go to the website, Cornell Cooperative Extension, and Roseanne, of course, is the master gardener there. And any questions you might have, you can phone him in or send a message in to you guys.
In fact, I'll give you our hotline for garden questions and our email. Our email to send garden questions is homeandgarden, all one word, at cornell.edu. And then our phone number hotline is 315-736-3394. Press 1 and then extension 333. And you can send us any questions or email any questions, and we'll get back to you.
All right. I love it, and we really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right.
Have a good day.
Stand by, Davey. Davey's going to grab you there. All right. It's time. Yeah.
I just have to tell you, it's funny. You learn something new every day, and I guess the kids nowadays, they say, I was today years old when I learned. I knew about tomatoes, but I did not know peppers are actually fruit, and that includes jalapenos.
I guess I didn't know that either. Tomatoes, we've learned, right?
Yeah, I knew about tomatoes.
I didn't know peppers were.
But peppers, I just she mentioned it. She called them your fruity vegetables. But peppers,
that's some hot fruit, boy.
I know, including bell peppers and jalapenos, etc., are fruit because they develop from a flower of a plant and contain seeds. Culinarily, they are treated as vegetables due to their savory flavor and use in cooking. So this concludes here in science, they are fruits, but in the kitchen, they are veggies.
Well, I guess I'm going to have to get another free money question. You just put mine, so. Damn it all.
I was going to suggest it.
Hold tight. We'll do the free money question with Davey, and it's worth $335 this morning. And Davey, what caller number are you looking for? What do you want to do?
Caller 7.
7th caller right now.
What's the look on your face? You look disgusted in there. Is it because jalapenos are fruits?
No, because Bill said he sent me a picture, and I never got it.
Okay. I'll try to send it again. 315-736-0186. 335 on the line right now. I'm going to ask you updates the news here at WIBX.
Good morning, Bill. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM. News time is 7:43. Couple of schools on delay this morning, Canastota and Oneida, both on a 2-hour delay. That list you can always find at WIBX950.com. The White House is not ruling out President Trump invoking the Insurrection Act as protests over ICE operations continue in Minnesota a week after the deadly shooting of Renee Good. White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt said yesterday that only Trump could say what would be his, quote, tipping point to declare an insurrection. Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado has gifted her 2025 Nobel Peace Prize to President Trump. The two met at the White House yesterday, and afterward, Machado told reporters she presented the medal to Trump in appreciation of deposing Venezuela's former leader, Nicolas Maduro. It comes after the Nobel Committee reiterated earlier this month that once a Peace Prize winner has been announced, the decision stands for all time.
You mean she just can't give him the award?
Well, she did.
She can give it to him.
But she's still, it's not like in retaliation they're going to revoke her award.
Okay.
She's still considered to be the award winner.
Okay.
The mother of one of Elon Musk's children is suing his XAI artificial intelligence company over its AI tool. I think it's called Grok or Grook. They allegedly created deep fake, sexually explicit photos of her. Ashley St. Clair's lawsuit is just the latest complaint against the company after weeks of outrage over it being used to create non-consensual, explicit photos. The Department of Justice says it has dismantled the NCAA basketball gambling conspiracy. The DOJ is calling it a transitional criminal conspiracy that began in China with former college and Chicago Bulls player Anthony Blankenly. The indictment alleges that he was having so much success fixing games in China as a player, he moved the operation stateside with a number of co-conspirators. This comes just months after another FBI investigation into sports gambling led to the arrest of Miami Heat player Terry Rozier. Verizon customers receiving a $20 credit after Wednesday's nearly day-long outage. In a statement posted on social media, Verizon said it did not meet the standard of excellence that customers expect. And Grateful Dead co-founder Bob Weir will be remembered this weekend in a public memorial service in San Francisco, where the band became a fixture of 1960s counterculture. Homecoming, celebrating the life of Bobby Weir, is set for tomorrow. It's free and open to the public at the Civic Center Plaza. Weir died last week at the age of 78 after a battle with cancer. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 7:45. Here's a look at a chilly Weather Center forecast.
Winter weather advisory until 1. Scattered snow showers, breezy and cold this morning, upper 20s this afternoon, and looking for a coating to up to an inch or two of snowfall. Obviously, if you get into more favored areas for snow, you may see a little bit more, especially in the North Country and off to the west. Tonight, some snow showers around, really not looking for much in the way of accumulation. 20, North Country colder. Tomorrow afternoon, some snow showers, and we could have a prolonged period of snow showers, especially early next week. On the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX, 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
We have mostly cloudy skies, 11 degrees now in Rome, 11 in Herkimer, and 12 in Utica.
Yeah.
It's cold, yeah.
Listen, the Steve Ponte Mazda New Year New Mazda sales event is underway. Save on a new Mazda lease or enjoy 1.9% APR financing on new 2025 Mazda CX-5s with 0.9% on turbo models. How about 0.9% on new 2025 Mazda CX-50s, 1.9% on hybrids, 2.9% on new 2025 Mazda CX-30s. See Rick or anybody at the dealership for details. Ricky Z, as he always says, let's make your deal on a Mazda, where it's always easy to do business. Steve Ponte Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
You want to hear from Chuck?
I do want to hear there. I will take some comments coming up. I hope Lance and Lee has a comment. I am ripe and ready for him today.
He's quiet. I wonder if...
we made an open for him. He has his own open.
Quiet today. He also said yesterday that he had to go back and listen to the prior day's show either later in the day or earlier that morning. So what has he got, a little part-time morning job?
I don't know. Something's going down. Let me do our free money question, though. It is worth $335. Is that right, Davey? $335.
335.
335. And if the winnings happen here, the money will come from the Hobeika Law Firm, Joseph and Andrew Hobeika, at 315-724-1600 for your legal needs. And on the line to compete here this morning is Steve in Clinton. Hello, Steve. Good morning.
Hey, Bill. Good morning.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. You know the deal. You'll have 7 seconds to answer the question. I think this is absolutely doable. And 7 seconds to answer the question. You get it right before the buzzer, and you get the dough. And you'll also walk away with the all-in-one food and fun card, $25 gift card, which is nice because it covers several restaurants, including the gift shop at the Odd, any of the restaurants, or the Taylor and the Cook, Aquavino, Babes, etc. All right, here we go. Here is your question. This Davy Jones was a musician and became very famous. He changed his name to what as to not be confused by Davy Jones of the Monkees? Ready, go.
Davy Smith.
Did he change his name to Davy Smith?
That's what I was going to say, Uncle Smitty.
No.
No.
Yeah, this Davy Jones, I know there's somebody shouting at the radio right now. This Davy Jones was a musician. He became very famous. What did he change his name to as to not be confused by Davy Jones of the Monkees?
You're not going to tell me it's Bob Weir.
Nope.
No.
One more other way I could say, he not only changed his name, but he changed his name.
Oh, I know the song, but not the artist.
David Bowie.
Oh, get out.
His real name, Davy Jones.
Really?
Yeah. And actually, I think he was performing as Davy Jones, and then the Monkees came along, and he's like, well, this screws everything up. So he changed his name to David Bowie. Wow. Pretty wild. All right, we'll give you the all-in-one food and fun card. It's $25 gift card. You know what I'm going to do is we'll give you a second. We're going to do a second chance for at least today and next week. All right, a second chance opportunity. Steve, do you want to take a shot at it?
Sure, why not?
Jimmy Fallon is coming to the Rome Capitol Theater on February 7th. And considering I've done this already, it's only fair we go forward and give everybody at least a second chance shot.
It's only fair.
This is good for a pair of tickets to see Jimmy Fallon on February 7th at the Rome Capitol Theater. Get your tickets at romecapital.com. There's still a lot of great seats left for that show. Super Bowl weekend, as a matter of fact. All right, you ready to go, Steve?
Well, to be fair, Bill, I can't make it that date.
Okay.
So you could maybe give that to somebody else.
Well, that's really honest
Somebody
of
else
you.
call in.
You want to give it to somebody else? That's really nice of you. All right, stand by.
I like Jerry Fallon, too. He's a great guy.
Yeah, well, you're a good man. Stand by, Steve, and Davey's going to hook you up, okay?
Now, Bill, you know what Steve this is?
Are you Steve that's on YouTube?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, Steve. You razz me a little bit every once in a while. You're all over me sometimes. You get me pretty good.
I don't text that much. But
yeah, it's fun. The YouTube is nice because you get to see who's actually in studio. I think we finally have improved the product to the point where it's watchable. I hope anyway. So.
And you notice I don't hide my name like a lot of them do.
You don't. You put your name right out
call.
there, Steve. All right, man. I appreciate it greatly. And stand by. Davey's going to hook you up.
Okay. Thanks.
All
Have a
right.
good day.
Okay. There you go.
Speaking of
very
YouTube,
nice.
John, I believe you refer to him as QAnon John, says the prize should be $3,500 because the dollar is collapsing 100%. Laugh emoji. John, I'm going to tell you
why
this.
he'd be happy about that. Why are you happy about that?
Well, here's why you don't understand, because you must learn the current laws and rules of this country.
We don't know.
John, please explain that. I'm still wondering what the heck that means.
I told you that we have a new Lance and Lee open for his messages. Before we read his messages, we'll run a little bit of a Lance open to his message segment, which has literally become epic here on the program. So let me play that, and then we'll see if he's got anything in there.
Hey, hey, Lance and Lee. You sent another message for us to read. We don't know who the hell you are. You probably drive your mother's car. Typing away on that dirty phone. Sitting in your bedroom all alone. Lance, right, Lance.
I like that. Lance. Sometimes I think it's Lance, left Lance. I don't know. Nothing from Lance this morning. Are we going?
No, we do.
Okay.
Just
all right.
came over, hot off the presses. He says, where to begin? Number one, that list I sent was just random names that I heard that might have an interest.
Well, I don't know. Whoever's allowing you to hear such a thing is like off their rocker.
Number two, the guy that announced yesterday was like Christmas Day for the Democrats. Rozier must not want to win that seat. Bitar is 1-5 to win that election now. 1-5. Doesn't he mean, 1-5? I got what he's saying. So he's talking about Dan Fusco, who is the Republican who announced yesterday. So apparently Lance not a big fan of his, doesn't think he has a chance. I also don't know that he has right now the name recognition to make a dent in that election. But
okay,
see.
all right.
He also says, number three, that jingle, though funny, couldn't be more from the truth, but nice try.
That's what everybody would say, Lance.
Is it just specifically the line about your mother's car?
Oh, well, what are you going to say? You're trying to find stuff that rhymes, and it's funny. It's not meant personally. I don't really think you're in your basement, really, unless maybe you are. I work in my basement. That's where all of it is done, all of my work. Okay. I also said, this was, I think this is a bit abstract, but I love it. My friend Chris said that he's adding a segment on his program, and we could do the same thing. What they're doing is in order to make sports entertaining for even those who are not interested in it, you really find that the sports world is filled with a lot of drama.
Yeah.
Especially this time of year in football.
You want it.
I mean, think about it. You've got all these coaches that are 25% of coaches in the NFL are out of a job. It's crazy. And, of course,
jobs some Americans won't do.
Manaski, that's exactly it. Manaski's really excited about Harbaugh. And then you have the Mike Tomlin situation. That's a big deal as well. So he said in order to make it entertaining, what he does on his program is it's called Opera Sports News. Opera Sports News.
Okay.
So I'll give you an idea.
Mike Tomlin just retired. 19 seasons as head coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Just doesn't feel real. No way. It seems like just yesterday Big Ben was getting drafted. Now Big Ben's retired.
Then arrested.
And now Mike Tomlin's retired. What is happening? It can't be real. Mike Tomlin retired after 19 seasons. Head coach of the Steelers. He never had a losing season. He won the Super Bowl. He never had a losing season. What the hell is going on?
So I kind of feel like this may not be appealing for the sports fans, but it's a way to bring the opera fans into sports. So if there's somebody in your family that is, there has been a lot of drama. In fact, for you, the drama today is it looks like this Harbaugh deal is for real.
I love it. We talked earlier, and I'll mention this to Scott coming up next hour, this Kelce or this poly trade market
We're going
or
to
whatever.
get that coming up. Where you can bet on we're going to bomb Iran. You could actually bet on that, and we'll talk about it coming up. Julie says, I was one of the ones screaming at the radio, totally knew that was David Bowie. It shows that if you got to call in. I mean, call in. You never know when the perfect question comes for you. Hold tight. We'll do news top of the hour. Stand by. And a full weather forecast with a few delays out there this morning. It's a cold start to your Friday.
Hurt in a car? Call William Attar. 315-444-4444.
Hey, man, thanks for coming so fast. I couldn't get anyone else to pick up.
Yeah, it's been a busy week. I'm not complaining, though. Business is way up lately.
Wow, good for you. I've been trying to grow my accounting practice, but it's been pretty slow.
Yeah, I was in the same boat last year. What really helped me was checking out this site, mylocalcustomers.com.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, well, most people haven't. It gives you a look at how many people in town are searching for what you do, and it also provides a plan to help them actually find you.
Like online?
Exactly. It's eye-opening, and it only takes a couple minutes to get started.
Huh, well, you fixed my sink. Maybe you just fixed my business, too.
Want to know how many people in your area are searching for your type of business? Start with a local customer analysis at mylocalcustomers.com. It's quick, it's easy, and it's free. Go to mylocalcustomers.com today.
That's mylocalcustomers.com. mylocalcustomers.com.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Sniffles and sneezes got you down? GoodRx is here to help with big savings on commonly prescribed cold and flu meds. GoodRx is free and easy to use. GoodRx is accepted at all major pharmacies like CVS, Walmart, and Walgreens. Just search your prescription, find a coupon, then show your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx is not insurance, but it works whether you have insurance or not. If you do, GoodRx may be.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 Utica. From the WB Payne Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
He deserves it.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's why Maria Corina Machado, a Venezuelan opposition activist, gave the Nobel Peace Prize. She was awarded last month to President Trump at their private meeting at the White House, telling Fox's Rachel Campos-Duffy.
I decided to present the Nobel Peace Prize medal on behalf of the people of Venezuela.
The president thanked Machado in a Truth Social post, calling it a wonderful gesture of mutual respect.
Still, President Trump is not pushing for Machado to lead Venezuela. Instead, he and senior administration officials say they are working well with Venezuela's interim president, Delcy Rodriguez, who served as vice president under Nicolas Maduro before his capture by the U.S. earlier this month.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House, where Fox's Aisha Hasni also has an update on potential U.S. action the president has threatened over Iran's deadly crackdown on protests.
We are learning from military sources that the U.S. is sending at least one aircraft carrier to that region right now. Meanwhile, Axios is reporting that the director of Israel's spy agency, Mossad, flew in today to the U.S. for talks with White House envoy Steve Witkoff about Iran.
Now to Minneapolis, where protests raged again last night, angry over recent ICE-involved shootings that clashed with federal officers who used tear gas. And Fox's Matt Finn reports from Minneapolis.
Immigration agents are doing targeted enforcements and traffic enforcements all around the city. It's happening pretty much all day long. And a lot of time, those agents are met with protests and agitators. The backdrop to all that is, at the same time, the established protest location is that federal facility that ICE is using as a detention center.
In the protest Wednesday night, 2 federal vehicles were broken into, body armor, weaponry stolen. The FBI has a reward up to $100,000 for info leading to arrest and recovery of what was stolen. Director Kash Patel says a gang member has been taken into custody. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/Mike.
Serving in Vietnam, a grenade took my ability to see. I'm Michael Naranjo, and I'm a veteran. Today, I'm a sculptor. My fingers are my eyes.
DAV helps veterans like Michael get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year.
With DAV, more veterans can shape their lives into a thing of beauty. My victory is bringing beauty into the world.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
While President Trump keeps trying to work out a peace plan to stop Russia's war, it's becoming a long, cold winter in Ukraine.
Ukraine's newly appointed energy minister says they have fuel supplies for more than 20 days, but the situation is difficult. President Volodymyr Zelensky declared an energy emergency earlier this week. Energy Minister Denis Shmyhal says there's not a single power plant in the country that Russia has not attacked. And in some cities and regions, winter preparations have failed. Near the front line of the war, in freezing temperatures, thousands of homes have been without electricity and heating for days. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
A newspaper that reports on the U.S. military is going to be under more military control.
Congress passed a law in 1994 meant to protect Stars and Stripes' independence from editorial interference. Pentagon spokesman Sean Parnell on social media says it's changing the paper's coverage to focus on things like weapon systems, fitness, and lethality, no more what the statement calls woke distractions. And the Pentagon says it will generate half of Stars and Stripes' content. About half the paper's budget comes from the military. The rest comes from selling ads, subscriptions, printing services, and merchandise. The first Stars and Stripes was published during the Civil War. It's been published steadily since World War II, read primarily by members of the military and their families stationed around the world. Chris Foster, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are mixed, up for the NASDAQ, down a bit for the Dow. There's baseball news. The defending World Series champion Los Angeles Dodgers, with the biggest Major League payroll by far, make it even bigger.
The first team in a quarter century to win consecutive World Series is gunning for a 3rd title in a row. 1 month since the Dodgers added all-star closer Edwin Diaz, and roughly a month ahead of spring training, the Los Angeles Dodgers agreed to sign the most coveted free agent this year, in former Astros right fielder Kyle Tucker, who spent last season with the Cubs. Tucker has agreed to sign a 4-year contract with the Dodgers worth $240 million.
That's Jared Max. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
We have mostly cloudy skies, 12 degrees, and comments pouring in. We'll get to those momentarily. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 8:05. This news update is brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Jury deliberations will resume today in the manslaughter trial of former Marcy Correctional Facility officer Michael Fisher. During closing arguments yesterday, prosecutors told jurors that Fisher had a duty to try and stop his colleagues from beating inmate Robert Brooks to death in 2024. Fisher's attorney, though, countered by claiming the evidence presented during the trial shows that Fisher is not guilty. If convicted, he faces up to 15 years behind bars. Several people recovering after a massive crash on Interstate 81. 34 cars and 3 trucks involved in yesterday's pileup on the highway southbound in Lafayette. It was snowing at the time of the collision. 2 of the victims suffered serious injuries, but authorities say they are non-life-threatening. The one bit of good news for drivers, though, is the road is back open north and southbound for this morning's commute.
That was a spectacular accident.
Thank goodness nobody perished. That was fortunate. You seldom see a crash like that where it's not fatal. Utica police warning about a rise in teenagers possessing and using flare guns in the city. UPD officials say the flare guns, which are usually legal when they are used properly, have recently been fired at people, homes, buildings, and used to threaten others. Police say some of the flare guns have even been modified to shoot real bullets, making them as dangerous as actual handguns. There was one instance in Albany last year where a flare gun destroyed a home after it was fired at the residence and then caused the entire building to catch fire. Utica police say current laws allow police to charge people under 16 with unlawful possession of weapons, and officials say new laws are being considered in Albany to specifically address the issue with flare guns. After years of anticipation, ground is finally being broken today on the Micron Technology Project in Clay. A ceremony scheduled for 1 this afternoon at the project site at the corner of Route 31 and Cotinoy Road. Micron wants to build up to 4 factories at a cost of $100 billion, but the first building will not open until 2030. Construction was supposed to start in 2024, but officials say it was an environmental review that took longer than expected. A Republican now joining the race to replace Marianne Buttonshaw. Dan Fusco, who is a town board member in Deerfield, says he had planned to challenge the incumbent Buttonshaw until she announced recently she would not run for re-election. So far, a Democrat has come forward announcing his intentions to seek the seat. That's Utica Councilman Joe Bitar. Fusco says he brings experience as a small business owner, manufacturer, farmer, and community leader to the race and potentially to that seat in Albany. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 8:08. Here's a look at your Weather Center forecast.
Winter weather advisory until 1. Scattered snow showers, breezy and cold this morning, upper 20s this afternoon. And looking for a coating to up to an inch or 2 of snowfall. Obviously, if you get into more favored areas for snow, you may see a little bit more, especially in the north country and off to the west. Tonight, some snow showers around. Really not looking for much in the way of accumulation. 20. North country colder. Tomorrow afternoon, some snow showers, and we could have a prolonged period of snow showers, especially early next week. On the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, cloudy skies and 12 degrees at 8:09. All right, in sports, this update is brought to you by the Positive Coaching Alliance. Questions about youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit organization, develops better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. You can get more information at positivecoach.org. Reports say that the Giants are working to finalize a deal with John Harbaugh to make him the new Giants head coach. He'll be making upwards of $20 million a season over the next 5 years. It's also expected Harbaugh will hire Todd Monken as his offensive coordinator. Overall, the deal roughly at 5 years, $100 million. NFL playoffs continue this weekend. The Buffalo Bills kick things off on Saturday afternoon as the Bills battle Bo Nix and the Broncos in Denver. The nightcap is Brock Purdy and the 49ers squaring off against Sam Darnold and the Seahawks on the NFC side. Seahawks quarterback Sam Darnold says he expects to play tomorrow against the Niners despite suffering an oblique strain or injury in practice this week. He said he felt a little something in his left side while throwing. He left the session as a precautionary measure, and he is officially listed as questionable to play tomorrow night. But I think we all know he will be under center, barring some significant injury later today. Coming up on Sunday, you've got Drake May and the Patriots taking on C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans in Foxborough. And then Matthew Stafford and the Rams roll into freezing cold Chicago to clash with Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. Of course, we'll have all the games for you this weekend right here on WIBX. NBA action, the Knicks closed out their 4-game road trip with a loss in Golden State, 126-113, the final there. They've dropped back-to-back games. They host the Phoenix Suns tomorrow at MSG. The Nets will host the Bulls tonight. They've dropped 8 of their last 9 games. Local hockey action, the Utica Comets on the road in Syracuse tonight. They're back home to take on Rochester tomorrow at the Adirondack Bank Center, and then they hit the road again to play Belleville on Sunday. The Utica Pioneers are on the road there in Rochester taking on Nazareth this weekend, and then they don't come back home until next weekend. Syracuse basketball, I almost forgot, 2 o'clock tomorrow. Smitty, it's ACC Network, and they're taking on
Boston College.
Thank
Jeffrey.
you, buddy. Boston College.
All right, a couple of comments. Donna says, I'm confused in the writing on the accident on 81. KTV says 30 vehicles in their online report says 30 vehicles in the 81 crash. Then on TV they said 37 cars and 3 tractor trailers. Jeff said 34 cars and 3 tractor trailers. Which is it?
Donna, that's a great question. I will tell you that I pulled that story from a news service that grabs Syracuse news. I did not count.
Hold on. Let me bring in Syracuse.com says 34 cars and 3 tractor trailers.
Okay. Yeah, and I think that's where this is actually sourced from.
Now, if you subtract 81, if you subtract 30 from Route 81, that brings you down to 49. There's a lot of numbers in that.
And 5A12.
5A12 will screw you all up.
Then you got 2 serious injuries after that. So
Holy moly.
Fortunately, nobody was injured.
You don't even want to get into 690 because that'll drive you completely nuts. Is it 690? 481? Yeah.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, and you had a comment from Chuck.
Okay, so I got a few comments here. They're coming in fast and furious. All right. What did Chuck say? Chuck said, Dear Bill, Dr. Bill, you missed your calling. Someone as medically qualified as you who can make a diagnosis from your studio for an ICE agent in Minnesota is unbelievable. You go, Doc.
Okay. First of all, I didn't make anything. I'm reporting on a story that came out, and the story is that the ICE agent who shot the woman supposedly has internal injuries, had internal bleeding.
Yeah.
But there's a report out today that says that story was being pushed and kind of thrown out there for somebody to grab. Even Fox didn't grab it, but CBS grabbed the story. Interesting dynamic there. Right around the time they had an exclusive interview with President Trump, they ran that story. No confirmation whatsoever. It did not come from a doctor. This is the report. This is not me. It did not come from a doctor. It did not come from the patient, the ICE agent. It came from someone in the administration who leaked the story to CBS. And in the story, there was a physician, not me, saying internal bleeding could be anything from extremely dangerous and really life-threatening to technically a bruise is considered internal bleeding.
I did not know that.
So I'm just saying,
although it makes sense,
based on my visual of watching the 3 or 4 videos that I've seen from that, I just, unless he fell when he was walking away, I just don't see the injury.
Yeah, and I mentioned this earlier. There are many cases of people who, what do you want to call it, adrenaline? They get the blood pumping.
Sure, possible. You know who did have internal bleeding was the woman that got shot in the head. She had internal bleeding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take it for what it's worth.
Here's Chuck with a clap back. Hold on.
I'm just repeating the story.
He says blah, blah, blah. Okay.
That's because Chuck suffers from Trump delusional syndrome, that anything possibly negative about the Trump administration, he won't even look at or consider. That's the real TDS, Chuck. Now get off your stilts and watch the real story.
Big Honey in Hecla. Good morning, Big Honey. He says, geez, Bill,
I don't know what he's talking about.
With all your use of AI, you won't even have to show up to work anymore.
No, we have a choir. We have an opera. We have opera singers. We're in a studio every day, Chuck, Big Honey, every single day.
Lance and Lee, when BTAR wins, it'll be interesting to see if Celeste is the replacement to get her seat back.
Oh, boy.
Samantha's head will surely pop off.
Let me break and
one more. Dave and Floyd, as the only Davy Jones in the town of Floyd, I have to say I had that musical answer, which is rare.
He's a Dave Jones.
He's a Davy Jones.
Wild.
Davy Jones, he says.
That's wild. Well, we love the Monkees, Davy. We love the Monkees. Not so much, but some of that retro stuff is pretty good. Scott in Kirkville coming up, make his picks for the weekend, a big weekend. And I also want to get his take on this Syracuse basketball team, which has been a bit of a pleasant surprise, I believe, so far. We'll speak with Scott in Kirkville next to WIBX.
Brought to you by Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Possibility starts with the right financial solutions from AmeriQ Credit Union. Get started today at ameriq.org/possibility.
Tallman's Tire and Auto Service, family owned and operated since 1980. Tallman's is proud to provide trusted professional auto care to our community. From brake repairs and New York State inspections to check engine light diagnostic to four-wheel alignments, Tallman's Tire and Auto Service accept all aftermarket warranties, and they specialize in fleet vehicles, accepting all fleet maintenance programs. When your vehicle needs attention, you can count on them to get you back on the road quickly and safely. Save time and money. Schedule your appointment today at tallmanstire.com.
Whitesboro Central School District is looking for bus drivers to join their team now. Whitesboro is a leading school system in central New York with 7 schools, 3,100 students, and a 92% graduation rate. You can help drive our students' success. When you drive for Whitesboro, you get pay that's based on your experience, great benefits, a flexible schedule, and summers off. Call Andy at 315-768-9740 or stop by the garage, 20 Wood Road, Whitesboro.
The Potting Shed Antiques in Whitesboro is buying silver, gold-filled, vintage costume, estate jewelry, and U.S. and Canadian coins. They've been your hometown buyer for over 50 years. While other gold and silver buyers claim to offer the highest prices, the Potting Shed Antiques actually delivers. Let Don Hartman take a look at your individual pieces or your entire collection. The Potting Shed Antiques, open Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Please call ahead for an appointment. Visit thepottingshedantiques.com.
Embarrassed by ugly yellow toe fungus?
Living with toe fungus it's embarrassing. I was afraid to take my socks off. I hid my yellow and crumbly toes from everybody.
Introducing Crystal Flush. Crystal Flush is the only FDA-registered 2-in-1 home treatment that attacks your toe fungus from both the inside and out. Crystal Flush's new and different combination system knocks out toe fungus for good. Guaranteed.
Crystal Flush is different. After just a few weeks, my fungus was gone. 100% disappeared. Crystal Flush was the only thing that ever worked. So if you're skeptical because you tried a bunch of other stuff, Crystal Flush is different. This is a game changer.
Crystal Flush is now available without a prescription, but it is not available in stores. Get your risk-free supply today. Go to crystalflush.com. That's CRYSTAL flush.com. Stop being embarrassed by ugly yellow toenails. Go to crystalflush.com or call 800-204-4484.
It's the NFL Conference Championships Tailgate Party. Sunday, January 25th, 1 till 5 at Waterfront Grill Herkimer. A full tailgate buffet, drinks, multiple TVs, and over 50 auction prizes like New York Giants tickets, 5 tickets to a Buffalo Bills game, plus a pair of tickets to see Jimmy Taylor February 7th at the Rome Capitol. $30 tickets benefit the Great American Heart Running Walk, Little Falls Hospital, Herkimer County Humane Society, and Real Men Get Tested for Cancer. Sunday, January 25th, 1 to 5 at Waterfront Grill Herkimer from WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Rocky, I never thought I'd ever be saying these words, but you look darn good in spandex.
Thanks. I just came from the gym. I'm getting in shape for the annual Heart Run and Walk on March 7th.
Really? I never thought of you as an athlete.
Come on, I've always been interested in sports.
Well, I guess I knew that, but I always thought it was because...
Speaking of sports, you know, the finals of the NFL Championship are coming on January 25th, and that means...
Tailgate Party!
That's right. We're again sponsoring the greatest football tailgate party from 1 to 5 on Sunday, January 25th at the Waterfront Grill in Herkimer. Join us for a buffet, drinks, great prizes, and a whole lot of fun for only $30 admission.
This year, we will benefit the Little Falls Hospital, the Herkimer County Humane Society, and one of Rock's favorites, the American Heart Association, and the annual Heart Run Walk on March 7th, and Real Men Get Tested. And Rock, might I suggest a wardrobe change and a nice sweatsuit for the Heart Run?
All right, that's good. Hi, Billy Mays here with the brand new Keeler Kill Switch. When that morning show starts yapping about something you can't stand, don't reach for the dial. Just press this big red button and BAM!
This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
By the way, that tailgate party a week from this Sunday at
Yes.
Waterfront Grill.
We'll be there.
Giants tickets to auction off. They have a ton of auction items. They also have Buffalo Bills in the new stadium tickets for next season. I think it's 5 tickets that are good for any game next season. I imagine it's within reason, but...
Can I say a couple things?
You can.
Number one, your Billy Mays intro there. It says basically once Keeler starts talking about something that, annoys you or something like that.
Hit the button.
What the next instruction should be is to text or message Manaski
well, that
to
seems
sound
to
off.
be exactly what happens.
And that's what they should do.
Yeah, you're right.
That's number one. Number two is whether it's Kalshi, and I don't mean to be promoting this site, but it's the only one I know of. We talked about, what is it called? The Poly Market, which is essentially you can bet on anything. You can bet on who's the next president. You could probably bet on who's the next 119th District Assembly member based on whatever information that you have. I might today, because I don't think I can bet on this on, I think I have DraftKings. I don't think I can bet on this, but I might try out Kalshi. I think I'm willing to put some money, and I don't really bet significant money, by $50. The Giants will be a playoff team next season with Harbaugh as the coach. And I want to know Scott's take on that.
You could make that bet on any site. I think they have futures.
Yeah,
and you could bet
and that's for
next
playoffs,
year.
or is that just for
I don't know.
championships?
You can find
I'll check it out.
You can find anything. Scott,
and then one more. Sue, I know this isn't sports related, but I want to get to it before we forget. Sue says, as soon as I heard the ICE officer had internal bleeding, I knew they were referring to a bruise. It made me laugh, reminded me of stay-at-home mom being called the domestic engineer. He must bruise easily. She's talking about the ICE officer.
Scott and Kirkville, good morning. How are you?
So, do I hear right? $100 million contract for Harbaugh?
5 years, $100 million. Yeah.
He better find an offensive coordinator because
he already did,
was
didn't
trouble in Baltimore because of the lack of offense. And supposedly he had the MVP quarterback 2 years, and they struggled in certain games. And he's a great CEO. He's a great organizer. But I tell you, if you look at his 18 years, most of it was defense and. You had Lewis when they won the Super Bowl against his brother and stuff, and what's happened before. So he's a great organizer, but I'd be interested to see who he brings in as his coordinators for $100 million.
I think that's already done. I think it's already done.
Reports say that Todd Monken is the guy who's going to be, and he was the Ravens' offensive. Yeah, that he wants him back.
Yeah,
Scott, are you ready to go?
Yeah, it's
right.
First of all, I'd like to thank.
Well, hold on. We'll be on the air in a second. Stand by.
And before I say that, quickly, just the Monken guy, I will say you do have a point. Like when they scored the 2 touchdowns in the Steelers game, those were both broken plays. Those were not called plays. The other thing is, I will say, Baltimore struggled with Jackson's health and unnecessary, untimely fumbles all season. So, maybe that's part of the story there, how they didn't make the playoffs. But either way, I'm happy to have a legitimate head coach.
Hitting the reset button is not a bad thing. All right, Scott, you ready to go? Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Time now for Scott in Kirkville.
Scott.
You ready, Scott?
Scott.
Yeah, there it is. Scott. There it is.
Scott.
Okay.
Scott's got picks.
Not a lot of words in that song, but yeah, good morning.
No, it's great. I think that's excellent. I first I'd like to shout out to all the people that went on your podcast. I actually beat out Mannion, so I appreciate that. You beat out a congressman, you're doing things and stuff. So I think half it was Hochul's trying to balance the budget, but
could be.
It could be it there too. And the laundromats made a fortune on this conservative water thing. Because they told them to, don't do them at home, so they took them to the laundromat. So that
we don't really know that story down here.
Yeah. The
Syracuse,
Madison County was part of it. So it's kind of
Syracuse area, some parts of Madison County hit really badly with the potential of a water shortage. So they're asking. Yeah.
And so the
water your lawn.
Washington Comedy Tour was a big hit. A lot of standing room only, supposedly around the folding tables.
I'll bet.
So
yeah.
It was great though. So it was great. I was like the Jimmy Fallon of the comedy tour.
Yeah.
So.
I'll bet you were.
Yeah.
I'll bet you were.
And they opened up another. I tell you, this Flintstone cannabis is big. I mean, they just opened up another store and. Ever since they changed their saying from yabba dabba doo to yabba dabba doobie, it's really picked up.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Is there? Oops, sorry. Is there a Flintstone?
Flintstone
everywhere.
Flintstone.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
That. Oh yeah, no, it's four of them, and they're going to the rural area. They got one at Vernon Downs, right by the horse racing. So it's a new meaning for horses grazing on grass. It's
boy, you got them all this morning. Yeah.
So, Oh yeah, good. You got the drum. It's perfect, man.
Bad.
You guys are all set. And I understand you're sending your top investigative reporter to the Micron shoveling thing. They better bring their snow shovels because that's what it's doing here.
I'm wondering what they're. I guess they can because the ground's pretty.
Yeah, they're going to break ice, I think, today.
Let me say this: the ground is not that frozen, and here's how I'm able to tell. Yesterday, my sump pump was running. We were getting flooding in our basement yesterday.
Yeah,
because of the melting that we've had for the 5 previous days.
Even yesterday, though, we were in the upper 30s.
Yeah,
for a big chunk of the day.
So I'm hearing the sump pump going, and I looked, and it was filled right up to without that sump pump, I would have some massive flooding in my basement. Nonetheless, so that's telling you the ground is not all that frozen. So they probably could start. But man, this next 2 or 3 weeks is temperatures in the teens and 20s, overnight lows single digits. It's going to be cold.
Well, you better tell producer Dave to bring his earmuffs to the ground thing.
Okay.
It's snowing and a little on the cold side.
All right.
Then they can ask how many the 50,000 jobs that the reason why they got $3 billion in tax breaks. I'd like them to break it down because outside the 4,000 that Micron's bringing, I'd like to see where the 46,000 other jobs are coming from.
Yeah. All right. Well,
we'll see.
Glad you're optimistic.
Yep, 20 years. I won't see it. I'll be So, but the 20-year thing, it's not just going to happen overnight. So you got 20 years of building. It'd be incredible.
Well, 20 years, and they say 2030 they want to open, which I understand is 4 years off, but.
Listen, it's
not 20.
The first building,
The better that plant does, the better we all do down this corridor. And
can I say
Micron is no slouch. This is the real deal. So
it is, but I think Scott kind of brings up, and I hope it all goes as they say it will, but I think Scott brings up a somewhat valid point here where it's like we see so many changes month to month, quarter to quarter in technology and chips and what the demand is and how things are being built for consumers. That's a long way out to look to not think that something's going to evolve and dramatically change that.
Well, you would have your Micron. You would hope that you stay current with the current technology.
Yes.
Wolfspeed as well. You would hope that they update and they're constantly looking at newer, greater. And where does this new technology come from? It comes from companies like Wolfspeed and Micron.
No, I just was talking about the $3 billion that they're going to get. So everything was based on the 50,000 jobs that they're bringing in. So, I mean, if they're only bringing 3,000 jobs, are they getting $3 billion? And they're also talking about tax breaks for people that are moving to work at Micron.
Well, this is the only thing I would say to that. This is the only
that's
thing,
wild.
We've spent a lot of time listening to exactly what you're talking about, Scott, here in Utica because of Wolfspeed, and that went up and down and up and down, and now Wolfspeed seems to be they're out of bankruptcy now and looking to hopefully looking to expand and let's not forget that politics played a big role in this. That under Biden there were a lot of incentives to go electric, and now that's completely gone. So it's like every 4 years or every 8 years we're changing administrations. But remember President Trump's pledge and goal in all of everything that's being done right now, the tariffs, all of these things are to do what? To bring manufacturing back to the United States. So listen, they're taking a swing here, and we can only hope that it is extremely successful because that will benefit every one of us, right?
I hope so too, but $2 billion is coming from the county. They voted for that, so the county's actually forking some of the bill. So we'll see.
Well, a lot of that's federal money. That's federal money coming in for that.
No, the $2 billion had to be voted by the council. So I don't know how much feds, unless they had $2 billion in stockpiles.
Well, then you better anyway, step up to the tax pony here. Let's go.
What if Buffalo can cover against Denver, maybe Micron can put some money on that too.
Can we can we get away from this topic?
Can I just one more?
Yeah.
One more before we move on. I just want to let Smitty. You need to call Chuck Lester because what just happened there was Bill was touting one of the positive economic impacts of the Trump administration. So tell Chuck Lester he can turn his radio back on this morning.
Now, with Micron we do see it takes time, right? I mean,
sure.
It's first of all, the arguing back and forth, that one old lady that had the house, I feel bad for her. She was promised she'd be able to have that home till she passed away, and well, this deal got in the way of that. But
she got like $3 million. I feel less bad for her today.
If Trump, she did pretty well.
Yeah.
If Trump but you know what? That was the house where she brought up her children.
Sure.
Right. I mean, that's what this is all. But the $3 million made those memories kind of. I'll look at pictures.
A photo book.
Check out some pictures. We have some videos. This beautiful video camera we have with this new money we got. Anyway, I'm just saying. I think that if it's possible to bring manufacturing back here, that is good for America, and I hope that is successful. All right, so
that's Scott's economic report. Thanks for joining us.
That's why I'm saying you have an expertise. You have an expertise, and it's not in this field. But I do like the field that it is in, and I do want to ask you about the new point shaving situation that has come forward. And again, we've talked about this. This is something Manaski has brought up several times. It's not going to be the big stars at Duke and SU and the ones who are making all this money. It's going to be the small colleges, the small Division I schools like Buffalo, where these kids are making nothing, and they have an opportunity to bring in $45,000, and that's kind of what happened here. At least that's what's alleged. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. Well, a couple of years ago, Temple was pulled off the thing, and they were almost made the tournament because they're under investigation for this, and there was other people. So now the amazing part, the NBA led with this 3 or 4 months ago, They had some players and a coach and stuff.
Down in Florida, that was
Gilman thought making $30 million a year, you're going to risk your career, like you said, for even $50,000 or $75,000 compared to what you just said. I mean,
right. You think about that NBA thing and say, what are you doing? Why would you?
Doing? It's nuts.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But you're right. And the funny part, well, not the funny part is, but we watched the game in the tournament. Producer Dave and I'm not going to mention the name of the team, but the star player was making some crazy shots at the end, taking shots, and he was pulled from the game, and no one understand why the superstar was pulled, but
we talked about this.
And going, this thing smells like
something
anything.
weird.
I don't know.
Yeah,
he's one of the 25 players under investigation, but it smelled, and we both looked at each other and going, this makes no sense, and the coach even pulled him.
Wow. I know we have a big weekend coming up in football and basketball and
yeah. Remember I said a couple weeks ago that Denver was probably the weakest one seed, and Buffalo going in there shouldn't. It sounded like playing Kansas City the last couple of years. I didn't realize all the injuries Buffalo has at that time, but I thought they played the Jaguars, which I thought overall was the better team, offense and defense. They're going to scare you offensively, and supposedly they're going to play defense. But this was in game. If you're ever going to have advertisement for bet in real time, ask producer Dave with 4 minutes to go and the Bills had the ball and scored a touchdown. I said go up and bet the money line on the Bills. They're going to win it. Just the feeling how they moved the ball. And if you waited to halftime, the Jaguars' point total went down to 19 because they had 7. And the best was Monday night. 7-6 going to the fourth quarter. And if you want to bet the over on Houston, it was only 12.5 when they had 7. And Pittsburgh, when they had 6, was 9.5. So, I mean, that's why, you get a feel for the game and you can bet it. And college basketball is the best. I mean, you get the feeling. You're talking about Syracuse. You knew that Florida State game in the first 5 or 6 minutes going over the total. Just the style of play, and everybody was hitting shooting threes. And you mentioned Syracuse being kind of like surprise. Remember the surprise is the players they got in the transfer portal are doing what they're supposed to be doing compared to last year.
Yep.
You got Betsy shooting threes. You got King shooting threes, and you saw what happened in the Florida State. So the transfer portal players are actually playing to what they're supposed to be, and plus the center from UCLA. I mean, he's got 67 blocks all last year. The Lumpkin had 16 all year. So the players that are making it, I think, a surprise are the team players that we didn't know about until the start of the season.
Yeah. Interesting. I want to bring in Kathy. She has a quick question for you, and we'll. Kathy,
probably about Purdue basketball, isn't it?
Kathy, you're on with Scott.
Good morning. I have to tell you, my boys, since it's so cold now, they're lucky to be on the West Coast for the next few days. So how do you think they're going to do?
Who are they playing at first? They're playing Arizona State or Arizona? Or?
They're playing Washington, and they're playing Oregon.
Okay, so not playing Arizona State or Arizona. They got a good shot against Oregon. Their star players hurt. Washington just beat Ohio State just on Sunday. Michigan State is to me is a blue collar type of team. They don't have pure shooters, and if they lock down offense and defense, they should be in the games. But everything is predicated on I think their defense and rebounding. Because I don't think they offensively, but they're playing Oregon at a good time. Oregon's struggling. Washington, it's middle of the pack. I mean, in fact, Michigan State will be probably the favorite in both games. Michigan State.
And as far as Michigan State going up against Michigan, well, I know they're very good.
Different animal, yeah. Michigan finally lost to Wisconsin, but they're high tempo. They score a lot of points, so. That'll be your test and see if Michigan can play up tempo and score a lot of points. Because if you look at a lot of their games, I think they'd rather play in the 70s, where Michigan wants to play in the 80s and 90s.
All right. Well, everybody stay warm.
Thank you, Kathy.
You too, Kathy.
All right,
Bye-bye.
Kathy. Thanks so much. She is an enormous Michigan State fan. Just huge.
Was she in line at Stan's Fish Fry? She
might have been.
About this time.
She might have been.
Right.
Okay, 3 picks. Give us 3 picks that people can.
I've already put it in, so I got to give it out. In fact, it's gone down. I got Buffalo myself. I got Buffalo team total over 23 points. It's gone down to about 22 because the over/under has gone down, and now Denver's a 1.5 point favorite. It opened. I think Bills were the favorite
by a point and a half. Yeah.
I'll give you that one there. I didn't realize the injuries on defense, so. Because, like I said, Denver doesn't scare me on offense, and Bo Nix is not going to go 80 yards in 13 seconds. So I think Buffalo should be in it. And if you want to do a prop bet, Josh Allen attempts over 7 rushing attempts has always been good, and he might be running for his life a little bit.
I got to tell you, and that may happen, right? That may happen, especially with the injuries that they have. But I do want to say at least this. My take on by the way, Buffalo is still – +1 right now. So at least that's MGM. So I want to say this. The one thing I'm most impressed with about Buffalo is they are knowing that there are injuries. They are playing the game they have to play at that moment. I understand that everybody does that, right? Every time you go in, you're strategizing, you're researching a team. The analytics, the statistics, all of that stuff play a role. But the Bills are beaten up. They did what they had to do to beat Jacksonville. And you know what? I like the fact that all of a sudden, if the run game's working, that's the Bills' offense. If the run game's not working, they're throwing the ball. Or Josh Allen's going to have to run to open things up. I feel like their offense is the best that it has been, despite the fact that they're beaten up pretty badly. And the other thing is, do not take away from Buffalo the incredible performance last week against Jacksonville. The defense, I think the defense is playing really well right now, despite all the injuries here.
Yeah, I agree. When I saw before the injuries, I like Buffalo a lot, and it depends, like you said, Bill. You got MGM, the Kroll on ESPN before he came out to my Plush Mobile Studio had actually Denver 1.5. So you're right. It fluctuates, and that's the thing about the stuff. But the other picks, the other 2 picks, I'm gonna go. I'm hoping San Francisco's gone through they played Seattle game 18 for the 1 seed.
Yep.
Seattle beat them up pretty good, and then Philadelphia. I don't understand their offensive concepts and their play calling. It's if they don't have a new offensive coordinator, I'll be totally surprised. But they got banged around. I think it's all set up for Seattle. If they're ever going to get to the championship game, it's this week. And I like their team total is going to be around, 24, 25, around there. That depends if the over-under comes down anymore. And the championship game Monday, guys, Indiana, Miami. It's a home game for Miami. Line's gone up to 9. The ironic part is, if you better check the temperature out, because it might be 40 degrees, which is Indiana weather. It's outdoors.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take a pop. Indiana's been great to me, but I'm going to take a pop. I'm going to take over Miami 18 points in their team total. I think they can at least score 20 against Indiana's defense.
All right. Scott, as always, we appreciate it. Thank you. Good luck this weekend. Make a lot of money.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
All right. Have a good one. Thanks.
I got 2 things to add quickly.
Scott in Kirkville.
NFL futures for this season to win the Super Bowl. There's 8 teams left. Who do you think the favorite is from the odds?
I believe it is Seattle, followed by Buffalo.
Seattle, you are correct. 2.7 to 1. The Rams next. Patriots, then Bills. The longest shot is the 49ers at 20 to 1. The Bears are 16 to 1. That kind of surprises me a little bit. And then he talked about the temperature. I'm trying to find the story here this morning, but it made me think of Andrew.
Florida's been cold.
You're not kidding. Some parts of Orlando in the 30s today.
However, you're talking Miami. It's much warmer down there. So.
Yes, and the story was a rare cold snap in Florida has iguanas falling off the trees.
Yeah, that happens. That does happen.
Joe.
Now, ladies and gentlemen.
Joe.
It's time to speak with Joe Benson from the. Yes, it's all open. Joe who?
Joe.
Benson.
Joe.
S-O-N. Did I get an O after?
Joe.
It is right. Joe Benson on the line right now from the Utica Comets. Joe, good morning. Good morning.
Wow, did I do something special? That was
You
pretty
did.
cool.
Yeah, you have your own open here. Your own open. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I like that.
He never knew when he came to Utica
Yeah,
that
he'd have his own.
it would all culminate with this.
Yeah. Okay. I've been waiting for a while, and I apologize. This weekend, before we get into this weekend's games, there's a really cool raffle that the Save the Day Foundation is doing, and you want to explain what that is? And there are still, I believe, some tickets left. I know that I saw somebody at Aquavino buy a ticket last night.
Yeah. So it's a 50-50 raffle for the month of January. All the money goes to benefit the Save the Day Foundation, so it's a great cause. We got the junior comets going to the Pee Wee tournament in Quebec, so some of it's going to that. But there's not too many tickets left. There's a total of 2,000 being sold, so you have a pretty good chance of winning. It's $100 for a chance to win either $75,000 or a Chevy Corvette. You have your choice. And we're going to raffle. That drawing will take place on the 31st, so 2 weeks from tomorrow against the Hershey Bears that night. The drawing ends, the deadline for the raffle is noon that day, the 31st. So
I'm pretty sure, if I'm correct, they'll do the drawing at the game. Right after the drawing, the Pee Wee Hershey Bears team is going to come out and fight with the Comets. It's going to be really quite an event if you want to check that out. Did you see the
brawl? Yeah.
Did you
The
see
kids'
the brawl?
brawl?
Holy. Meanwhile, I'm not sure that first of all, some of those kids, Joe, had some real good punches. Like what? And what was most interesting to watch was the parents who were rooting them all on. It was just crazy.
Yep. Yeah, there's some crazy hockey parents out there.
Oh boy. All right. And then for hockey this weekend, your Comets are on the road tonight in Syracuse, and then are back home tomorrow.
Yep. So in Syracuse tonight, we've won the last 2 games against them, which is good. We had the Sox toss last week, which was awesome. Great for the community, and we obviously beat them 3-0, which was awesome. So then back home against Rochester tomorrow night. That's always a good game. Then we'll be playing Belleville on the road, actually at Canadian Tire Center in Ottawa on Sunday. So that'll be a cool, different game. And then, 3-3 this weekend, 3-3 coming up next weekend. So no weeknight games for a few weeks here, but the guys have been playing well to start 2026. Lost this past Saturday, was snapped a 3-game winning streak, which was they run a nice little roll. So hopefully they can get back into it this weekend.
Listen, I was at the game last Friday, beating Syracuse. Was it Syracuse we beat? 3-0. Yep. Great game.
Yep.
The Comets looked better than ever. Completely dominating. It was a great. That was a great game. All right, Joe. Good stuff, man. Thank you, and enjoy your theme song. There we go. You have it open.
And shout out to Seamus Casey also for being named to the All-Star game.
Okay, when is that and where?
It's in Rockford, Illinois, and it is February 10th and 11th.
Okay. All right. All right, good stuff. Thanks, man, and have a great weekend. Go
Thanks,
Comets.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks.
Take
so
care,
much.
man. Have a good weekend.
Joe Benson.
3 games for the Comets this weekend.
3 games this weekend, including Sunday. So
Ryan.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
Ryan.
time for Ryan Schmelz with Fox News Radio.
Ryan. R-Y-A-N, Ryan.
We also use that open for Ryan Nobles. Here's Ryan Schmelz with Fox News. Good morning.
No, you're going to drive a wedge between us. That's not good.
It's going to be bad. Who gets to have
already work at different networks?
Who's gonna get to have the opening theme song? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, have you heard of the Ryan meetup groups?
I haven't. I know you guys are on committees together, but what are the Ryan meetup groups?
There's this now national organization that literally is like a club for people named Ryan.
That's why.
And they do like networking events, parties, that kind of stuff. We don't have a chapter in D.C., but like they've had a bunch of stuff go viral. Like their social media is absolutely insane.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
I actually owe the communications director a call back and just remind myself that.
So you're in. You're in the group.
I mean, I guess I am. My name's Ryan.
Your
After
name
all.
is Ryan.
You know, the cool thing about those functions is even though they're strangers, nobody wears a name tag. So that's always a good thing, too.
They do wear name tags. They do wear them.
That's funny.
They all say Ryan?
They all.
Yeah.
That is so freaking funny.
They're trying to make sure you don't have a B in front of the R. And
Oh,
so we don't kick you
yeah.
out.
No Brian's here. Actually, it's funny because this guy who does these songs on YouTube, apparently in the South, they don't just go with Ryan, they go with Ryan Bob.
Oh, yeah?
Boy, I never heard of that.
Ryan
I lived in
Bob.
the South. I lived in the South for like 8 years and never heard that.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying that's what's up here. It's really weird. All
Billy
right,
Bob.
I got to tell you, I was reading a couple of different stories. Interestingly, and this one is one of them. Democratic lawmakers file articles of impeachment against Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. And then I read another story. It was a Democratic operative who's saying if Democrats want to blow it in these midterms at the end of the year, they're doing a good job. They got to stay away from impeachment. It is not a word that bides well in the country right now. Your thoughts?
Well, I mean, impeachment is something we debate about whether it's good politically or not. And now Democrats are doing their latest impeachment. At least some are, but they've got 80 co-signatures on these impeachment articles against Kristi Noem, which is some of the highest I've seen for some of these other attempts that have been out there. I mean, they brought up there's been impeachment articles introduced against RFK, against Hegseth, against some other members. So it's been something that isn't new. I mean, President Trump literally told a large group of House Republicans that if we lose the midterms, they're going to impeach me.
Yeah.
So it's not like this is anything new per se, but it is quite interesting that, of course, it's coming now as the situation in Minnesota gets more and more intense.
Well, and it is getting. I really don't know where this is all going to. It's all going to go because the longer this goes on, the more protesters, the angrier protesters are, the more things are being thrown at these ICE agents, which is going to that's illegal, by the way, and is going to make things that much worse and get even more reaction out of the ICE agents. Man, and you're going into the weekend. I really worry about this weekend in Minneapolis.
Oh yeah, I mean everyone's terrified about what could happen. I mean, you have Democrats who are pleading for peaceful protest. You have Republicans telling the police officers to make sure they maintain law and order. It's quite it's become ground zero for a lot of things. I mean, you have the Minnesota fraud thing already being one of the bigger stories coming out of Minnesota, but then you add in the fact that the shooting death of Renee Good, the ICE involved shooting, and then you also factor in there's another ICE involved shooting, this week too. So it's been kind of a situation that keeps getting more and more intense.
Crazy. It is again. We'll see what we're talking about Monday morning. I think that's that. There, and you're right. There are just a lot of people worried about what's going to happen this weekend. So. All right, Ryan. It looks like the deal's done for the New York Giants. Could be all done.
Have I not been on here since? Oh yeah, I think it was it was being finalized when we called him last time. Yeah, I mean, look, this is probably the first coach in a while that the Giants have hired of the last couple ones who I just said, okay, this person can handle the Giants media market. Like he can handle the New York media market. I think he's gonna have to get. It might be a rude awakening when he finds out that the New York media might not be as cordial and friendly as the Baltimore media is. And I mean, Harbaugh had been there for 18 years, so he built some good relationships with reporters and everything. But we'll see. I mean, there certainly were some issues that I had with the last season of Harbaugh in Baltimore. That's also why he left and was removed. But he's somebody who will probably put Jackson Dart in the best position to win and not fail. And he'll also, and we'll see if he's able to get the best out of these young defensive players that the Giants have too. But he's bringing Todd Monken with him, and he's probably bringing Zach Orr with him, and that might be seen as a questionable move by some, but we'll see.
Okay.
I also maybe have some concerns about the offensive coordinator, Monken, but I will say this. In regard to the media, I think you bring up a great point, but the thought I had was, at least initially, through the offseason or a good chunk of it, I actually think he's going to get a lot of positive coverage from the press.
Oh, yeah.
Because they know the market is so desperate for a positive, successful Giants team, which, again, we have not had in like a dozen years. So I think they know the readers.
The either.
Correct. I mean, that's the whole franchise other than the Namath years, But I just think that they know the media market. They will get more clicks and a better response from the readers if they go praise him, at least at the onset.
Well, just going off of the most toxic place to see the news coverage of this is social media, and I'm seeing nothing but positives coming from the Giants social media world. I mean, people are reacting to this. And I think Adam Schefter said this yesterday. They're reacting like the Giants just won the Super Bowl. So
I'm willing to bet they make the playoffs.
Jeff's already trying to bet on it.
I'm trying to put a futures bet in that they make the playoffs next year. I mean, again, it's been a real drought here. So if you tell me it's going to sprinkle, I'm like, let's do it.
He's standing out in the backyard with a pail.
Exactly. I mean, and in terms of roster, I mean, I would say of the available jobs, Ravens, Steelers, Giants, and then maybe like the Falcons' job is the probably most talented in terms of the current players who were there.
Right.
So that's
skill
always
positions.
Yeah. All right, Ryan. Good stuff, man. We'll talk to you next week.
Have a good weekend.
A wonderful weekend.
Hey, sounds good. Thanks, y'all.
All right. Thanks, Ryan Schmelz with Fox News Radio. The Good Feet Store. If you're having pain, it can be dealt with when it comes to the Good Feet Store. They'll give you a free fitting and a test walk, no appointment needed. And the 3-step system, strengtheners, maintainers, and relaxers. The Good Feet Store is at 4630 Commercial Drive in New Hartford. Call 315-999-3910. And we spoke with them in studio yesterday, the Falcon Clinic. Dr. Kaminsky, acupuncture. Dr. Kosminski, did I say that wrong? Dr. Cheryl Mattern of Sequoia is a new physician, along with Dr. Shemileski and Dr. Zielinski. If you need a new family doctor, you're interested in their OMT, osteopathic manipulation treatment, it is the premier osteopathic medical clinic, 315-507-4751, the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills. Go Bills.
Let's go Buffalo.
And we'll see if we're in, Davey and I are weeping on Monday morning. We might just be. You never know. News is next.
Tallman's Tire and Auto Service. Family owned and operated since 1980, Tallman's is proud to provide trusted professional auto care to our community. From brake repairs and New York State inspections to check engine light diagnostic to four-wheel alignments, Tallman's Tire and Auto Service accept all aftermarket warranties, and they specialize in fleet vehicles, accepting all fleet maintenance programs. When your vehicle needs attention, you can count on them to get you back on the road quickly and safely. Save time and money. Schedule your appointment today at tallmanstire.com.
With snow piles up in central New York, you still got work to do. Get it done with Bobcat.